World Center of Racing, ever disappointing. Perfect grounds, then exciting race. Tom McMahon enters Daytona fresh off of and Adam Shepard wants to regain that momentum he lost in. Hello and welcome to Pit Stop T. BSRTC. I'm Andrew Carter, on the 4th of JP.
Thank you so much for having me, and boy oh boy, after Tuesday's 4 amazing races, I was counting the days, I was counting the hours to be back here at Daytona to watch these guys do it all over again, albeit in TC cars. This is gonna be wild. This track just offers such great racing through, night in, night out. It's just amazing to be back here. Simple course, fantastic racing, plenty of moves to be done, and plenty of moves for us to cover as well, Andrew.
How is it fight when you, no matter what race, especially if you have the Brit on hand? Look at the track map, obviously. A lot of us should know it by where they, like next week, the iRacing guys are taking you can see Daytona, a couple of horseshoes back to back with a key. Let's stop on the back. It's heavy. Passing up. It's just a.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot really talk, this great about some racetracks that we had, but this one is just fantastic. 24 hours racing for 24 hours, as some of these guys would definitely do this weekend. It's fun, but doing a sprint race for 15 minutes, it's a completely different animal. You just throw some of the strategy out of the window. You don't fuel save, you don't tire save, you just essentially go for it. Obviously, we saw on Tuesday that strategy is important. Timing your overtakes is important. Not being in the front, sometimes even being on the front. So knowing your competition and knowing when to attack is going to be important. So as you mentioned, taking times are the days to practice for the 24 to completely do, I guess, a totally different race. It's going to be wild.
Interesting. I heard that was guys already almost 2 seconds. There was talk. Unfortunately, back end of coverage from 1 week ago. Internet decided to not play nice. Still, but we got a bunch of that out. Now everything's out after all. Talked about he and Shepard fighting. That's exactly how race took out, and we have that video of that battle. That was a really battle. It took that's lap Jake at third and had that nut on the way of top. Adam shit. That win.
Yeah, unfortunately for Adam, it went Tom's way, but you can see the 56-point gap. It can easily be erased here tonight. It can easily, everything can shake up. And well, Davies as well is a fantastic. I mean, he's doing a fantastic championship. Pro-Am in 3rd place overall. Can we talk about that? Can we appreciate that? It's an absolutely fantastic. Wouldn't doubt if he had a great 4 races tonight. Imagine if he went off leading the championship. That would just be insane. Obviously, we can see Seal and Piggott as well, 2 other Pro-Am drivers in the overall top 10. Morton in 12th place as an amateur driver. That's absolutely insane. This championship is extremely close for everybody. So tonight's race, well, expect this point standings to change drastically.
Roger Morton battling. I don't know how. Battling with on Tuesday. Back to trying. Got a good back because that app at least very elite. have to rate. Try and schedule for this as Donington opens us up right at the back end of open. Last Knock Hill.
That's going to be absolutely insane. Obviously, we went from Spa-Francorchamps last week to Daytona this week, two extremely fast open race courses. We're going to go to Knock Hill. Well, it's going to be a first, not only for me, but also for you, Andrew. I'd say it's going to be absolutely insane to see these drivers racing. And, well, the race is going to change completely from Daytona to Knock Hill. Then we're going to go to Snetterton. I absolutely love that circuit. Silverstone, we're not going to the GP, the long layout. Instead, we're going for the national one. That's also going to be extremely fun. Then we're going, as you mentioned, to the GP, the Grand Prix section, circuit layout of Brands Hatch. That's also going to be absolutely insane. Something that we kind of had a preview a few weeks ago at the shorter layout, and then obviously, finishing the championship off in Australia at Mount Panorama. Also at a wild race, and something that Daytona and Spa maybe can prepare some of these drivers.
Yeah, the long straights, big draft battles down there sometimes help. I mentioned qualifying underway. Let's take a look here at qualifying times, man, or at least the order so far. Michael Seal on pole. That's going to change things up. The Pro-Am drivers are currently leading the way in qualifying in an Audi as well. And you know what? We thought that the Audi was going to be dominant at Spa, and it really wasn't. Hey, here, though, it definitely could be. It's stretching its legs so far in qualifying. And obviously, these are draft laps, so it depends heavily on the draft. But still, so far, making good use of that Audi and its power.
Oh, absolutely. We talked to a few of the drivers, they mentioned, as you said, that the Audi should have been the dominant car in Spa. It has the straight line speed, as some of them were mentioning, but it just wasn't there, was it? Just kind of just fell victim of the Hyundais and the Hondas, but this time seems to be shining through. Only 36 thousandths of a second. We know that's going to be, obviously, as you mentioned, draft dependent, but it's a good showing, at least for the German manufacturer, which is, well, lacking in numbers so far.
And these drivers need to hold their manufacturer for the rest of the season. Once they choose it, that is the manufacturer they are running with. So it's pretty important for Michael Seal to make the most of Daytona then with how qualifying looks. Does he go any faster here? He's purple so far by just a little bit. That lap right on top of his previous fastest. But I think he's really gearing up for a run right here, as he's got some drafted to turn one. Let's go and check out Aaron Rose, though. He had a really solid start in a couple of races at Spa last week. Unfortunately, again, we couldn't cover those. The world had other plans, but he's looking pretty good so far in qualifying.
Oh, absolutely. Second place overall, first place in the pro category, so he's doing a good job. Quite a healthy gap, I shall say, to third place or second place in the Pro-Am class. Baker right behind him, around 1.3 tenths of a second. Not a lot, but it's healthy. It's a gap that he can also obviously use to build. And obviously, if Seal went faster, if anyone goes faster than him, he knows there's still time to find in the racing circuit. So, there's still optimal time to find. And now we're looking at Ricks. He's 1.7 seconds behind the leader, so definitely a lot of time to improve over there. Trying maybe to find a partner out here, Andrew, going a little bit slower, trying to find someone to work with, because on Daytona, you definitely need that.
And Ollie is currently your amateur pole sitter. Looks like maybe waiting for it. Following up behind, no, that's Elliot Harper, then James. I don't know exactly what Ollie is waiting for. Try to just code. Yes, he is. Actually, I think he's done for qualifying. Really, these guys, if they're on a lap, this is their final lap more than likely. They might get one more in like Roger Morton should, but otherwise, if you're in the pits, you've already missed your chance. Roger Morton comes across the line. Does he go any faster? This is for amateur pole. Can he pick up a few tenths and get it? Yes, he can, up to 14th overall, and that is good enough to put him, like I said, amateur pole just ahead of Ollie Ricks. The gap, in case you're wondering, JP, 0.002. 2/1000ths of a second faster than Ollie Ricks. That's what it works out here for Roger Morton, just getting that amateur pole. And there are a couple of amateurs that could knock him off, but it won't be Ollie Ricks. Here's a look at Adam Fox as he comes around to the trioval.
He's coming in, as mentioned, trioval, finishing off his lap. Looks like he's going to improve by 0.3 of a second on his previous overall best. He does 2.8. He just falls short, if I'm not mistaken, of those two, maybe by a few tenths of a second.
About a second.
About a second. Okay, so yeah, misspoke there. Duncan Cope, as you can see, 3.4. Not the greatest qualifying for him, so he's definitely going to have to put a comeback drive on the first few races if he wants any chance of fighting for that overall win.
Guys finished up their qualifying. Well, we actually might get a more lap time just before of qualifying, so I guess we can. There isn't a whole lot else that's going. Really, there's not too many drivers here compared to previous weeks. We've got 21 that have turned a time so far. It seems that some may be serving a quali ban, as we've seen previously. If we take a look, actually, if we bring this back up from the left, you'll see Fiona Siddons, the final driver to turn a time so far in qualifying. Everybody else, they will have to start from the rear. That's including Craig Schill, Andrew Whitler. We're at only 31 cars, which is fewer than 40, and we, of course, the series moved from Fulton Park to Spa last week because we were getting car counts over 40 quite often. That has changed. That has very much changed. Now 30 more.
Yeah, we kind of got spoiled where we find 31 cars on the grid to be too low of a number, aren't we, Andrew? But yeah, it's kind of crazy to see, the amount of dropouts. Maybe it's due to the Daytona week. I dare say, I'm not quite sure, but I expect this number to rise again over the 40s, maybe around next week, over the coming few weeks, as drivers, are not practicing for the Daytona 24 hours. We come to the normal schedule of iRacing. But yeah, even 31 cars, that's going to be a lot of fun at Daytona.
And I do think maybe a thinner field might actually help these guys a little bit. We've seen some chaos a couple of times. So a chance then to, I guess, how do I put this? A chance, I suppose, to race and have the 3 wide, but just fewer cars. I don't know exactly how to put it, but I think it's going to be a little bit nice.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I guess I'll just, re-say your words. I'm not quite sure what the English term is, but I agree. Having a fewer cars might avoid some of the incidents that we had on Tuesday. We had a few incidents on lap 1. And this could really help. Obviously, on lap 1, some people are going to be, battling for position. It's racing. It's going to happen. But, being, I guess, a calmer grid, you can say, not having, especially if you're starting from the back after a quali ban, not having to pass 30 cars, having to pass, let's say, 20. It probably should let people, take things a little bit more cautious. But, yeah, we shall see.
Final car that was still on the racetrack was Craig Schill. He has put himself ninth for the start of race number 1. So as we do, we'll get your first starting grid in at least as much of its entirety as we possibly can, and that begins with row number 1. Michael Seal Pro-Am in an Audi puts that 557 on pole. Congratulations then to Michael Seal with pole position. Aaron Rose will roll off from second place in race number 1. Starting third, you will find Rob Baker in the 51 car with Elliot Harper outside in the 4th spot. Mark Johnson starts 5th. Tom McMahon 6th after his wins 1 week ago. Adam Shepard will roll off 7th, needing a couple of wins to get back on the horse. Got Nathan Davies starting 8th. Nathaniel Goodman will roll off in 9th. JP and Chris Knox are in 10th.
In 11th place, we're going to have Shane Piggott alongside him, James New for an all-pro-am row. In row number 7, we are going to have in 13th place the driver of the name, looks like we're blinking a little bit, of the name, there you go, Scott Malcolm in 13th place. On his outside, the number 992 of Roger Morton for the amateur pole. In 15th place, we're going to have Ollie Ricks, who just missed out on that pole in 15th place. 16th place will go to Glenn Humberson in the 521. 17th will go to Jamie Goodall in the 575. Alongside him, Adam Fox in the 910. And row number 10 will be Craig Schill with Duncan Cope in 20th place.
Back 11 drivers look like the following. Starting 21st is Adam Height in the 997, then Fiona Siddons starting 22nd. Starting 23rd at Daytona, it's Lee Holmes in the 535, a Pro-Am. Next to another Pro-Am, Carl Hardy. Starting 25th, it's the 525 of Sam Smith. Luke Kidsley with a win last week at Spa, his first win in the series, will start 6th in this first race of the day. I skipped over a little. Did I? No. Simon Robeson will start from the 27th spot, Mark Oliver 28th. The back 3 cars will look like Jason Morris in the 917, Andrew Littler in the 31, and Sir Alan Toon brings up caboose on the field. Red lights waiting on green lights already here at Daytona, and the field is off and away. Bit of contact there, a big crash in the horseshoe. I say a big crash, it sorts itself out, but that is Craig Schill backwards who got that win as an amateur on Tuesday. A pretty poor start to this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like that win might not be coming, at least on the TC cars on race number 1. As you can see now, the rest of the grid following up on the second horseshoe and the second hairpin as they line themselves up for the corner before they enter the NASCAR 1 and 2, I shall say. As you can see, the Audi still leading, Michael still leading the rest of the grid. As you can see, a few drivers going side by side already, but the rest of the grid, Andrew, seems to be kind of cautious, I'd say, just taking their own time. They probably watched or raced on Tuesday, so they kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, we like that. We like a bit of calmness starts these races, just to get everybody into a groove. That means more cars to battle later on in this race. We don't wad them up early. Down the Daytona Superstretch for the first time, a field of 31 touring cars for hashtag BSRTC. You can join in on the conversation on social media by tweeting, Facebooking, Instagramming to us. Hashtag BSRTC. Chris Knox, what a slide through the bus stop. One car is in the wall. That is Jamie Goodall. The 575 stuck down there. Sam Smith will join Jamie, and one other car leaves the scene rather slowly, and that is going to be Andrew Littler, it looks like. Everybody else continues on.
So a few incidents through the bus stop as drivers were battling. An amazing save, as you mentioned, by Chris Knox. As you can see now, the rest of the field already a bit of separation, but this first four cars, as you can see, not separating. Rose with help, looks like, from Harper, his teammate. As you can see now, Michael Seal on the inside line. Can he hold for that lead? Rose going for the wider line. He slides a little bit. He saves it, and he's still, even more contact.
That was his teammate, Elliot Harper, who he came back on and I think might have just hit. They squeezed, and Harper hit, I think that was Baker on the left side, and now Harper's through the grass of the International Horseshoe, comes right back on, right in front of some traffic, and gets on right there behind Carl Hardy. A good recovery, all things considered. Back up front, let's see how it all shakes out. Michael Seal leads into the West Horseshoe. It's Rob Baker second, Aaron Rose in third, side by side because Shepard's up the inside. Maybe a bit of contact there.
Maybe a little bit of contact, looks like not so much. Shepard's going to be forced to the outside lane into turn 6 and 7. Looks like he's just going to give up. No, he's going to go down the inside. Almost. Looks like Rose just closed that door. No contact being made by those two. Now Seal, he's going to be 3/10 of a second. He's going to be under victim, as you can see now. Behind, looks like that's going to be Johnston following Adam Shepard, who's following Rose and Baker.
Grab our breath. Catch our breath as we go up onto the banking now, onto the Daytona Superstretch one more time. We're expecting 8 laps in each of these races. That could just change a little bit. Johnston follows Shepard into the bus stop, and it's orderly, at least up towards the front. Michael Seal still leading, and we saw a lot of this in the Miatas, where these Pro-Ams and Ams could qualify up front or put themselves up front by the invert and stay there. They had the tools with which to defend, but this time, Rob Baker is going to take it to the outside. It might have the help of Aaron Rose. No, Rose stays low. Shepard then is going to help Baker on the top side.
We saw on lap 1, the top side. Oh no, Shepard's going to go 3 wide. He's not going to help Baker at all. He's going to be taking that lead on the line. Looks like he's going to be leading that lap. So we're going to go 3 wide into turn number 1. Looks like Shepard is forced to back out. So going to be losing.
Michael Seal gets out of
shape.
Spears the 557 on the wall. I've never actually seen it in person. We finally have it, unfortunately, for the world to see on Pit Stop TV. Michael Seal gets collected by another car. It's better to just tow at this point. He has speared himself on that wall. Let's catch a replay of that incident for Michael Seal.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking, fighting for the lead. As you mentioned, Andrew, I've never seen that on person live. but it looks like we always gonna have a first. As you can see, Seal on the inside. They're going 3 wide at this point. He's gonna have the most compromised line into turn 1. As you can see, he just breaks. Oh, the car
Oh, it
just
catches
gets
the
out of shape.
grass.
Oh yeah, and then boom.
The look from the gearbox. Bumper of that car is one car comes through there, I think, and collects a little piece. Oh, it was right there.
Oh, that's just so unfortunate for Michael. He was doing such a fantastic race. Obviously, only the beginning of the race, but still, oh, that's just heartbreaking.
Go right back up front. You can see a line of cars heading off the banking out of turn number 2. Well, NASCAR 2 down the Daytona super stretch and into the bus stop we will go. This is Shepard on the outside, Johnston up the inside. Johnston gets the pass made. Oh, slides through the first apex, the second as well. And it's side by side on exit as Shepard tries the outside, but that's not going to work. Aaron Rose pulls in behind the number 56 and is going to push Mark Johnston clear. Shepard will duck in below and get to the inside now of Rose. Oh, how the tables turn.
Yeah, the tables did turn. It looks like now, looks like not McMahon. As you can see, Shepard looks they're going like a train here. Andrew English slipped out. As you can see, drivers are trying to go through.
Oh, Shepard, no! A big crash. Aaron Rose, Nathan Davies, they spin. Shepard, I think, continues on, albeit with damage. There's a look at Nathan Davies in the grass. There's a look at Elliot Harper. Where's Aaron Rose? He continued on.
Yeah, looks like, yeah, they continue on somehow. I'm pretty sure I saw Rose.
They were crashing. They crashed. They just got back rolling pretty quickly.
Oh, there we go. So maybe not a lot of damage, maybe not race-ending damage at this point, as we're going to take a look at another replay to see what happened. I'm pretty sure that was just a push gone wrong, Andrew. These bumpers may not be as smooth as the Miatas, as we're going to take a look here.
Watch all of this happen. We're watching Aaron Rose is that black and yellow car that gets shoved outside. Adam Shepard, actually, let's follow that white and purple number 17 of Adam Shepard as Rob Baker is gapping the field. He might have this one in the bag. Who was that pushing? We were just on board. That was Rob Baker pushing Adam Shepard. Shepard gets turned up into Davies and Rose. Shepard continues on, and then Rose somehow gets back straight pretty quickly. What?
Yeah, yeah. I guess he kind of used the second contact. The car just corrected itself somehow. I don't know. That was crazy. Luckily for him, that worked.
Rob Baker clear of the field by 1.3 seconds. Mark Johnston second with a battle here from McMahon up the inside. Now McMahon in second place. Got 2 wins at Spa, wants to bring the fight back to Daytona and get a couple more. Further back in the top 10, James Neve and Scott Malcolm with a battle. And Malcolm had a really rough day. Race number 4, I believe it was, might have been race number 3. Started on pole and took a slowdown over Radion. Had to give all of it back up and immediately got caught in a yellow, or well, not yellow, a crash. As now he gets to race in the top 10. This is 6th place, Neve and Malcolm.
Yeah, he's trying to, as you can see, I'm pretty sure that's a lapped car ahead of him. No, there we go. That was Neve, as you mentioned. So they're going to, as you mentioned, battling for second place as well on his class. So that's really, really good. The top 10 is full of Pro-Am and even an amateur driver. As you can see, both 3 of them, are they going to make a little bit of contact? No, looks like the Audi this time looks like it is stable through turn 1. Looks like Malcolm's going to be holding that position. Neve's going to be cycling back on his back. Looks like they're going to go nearly 3 wide into the first horseshoe, a little bit of a contact. But no, they all made in one piece.
Thankfully, no bumper to bumper there. That was close. Elliot Harper took the move on Nathaniel Goodman. Teammates battling there behind Neve and Malcolm. You see the rest of the field. What's the word? I speak English. It's my language. Sometimes I'm a loss for words. Doesn't really work sometimes. This is back around the top 10. Adam Fox, that orange Honda, just ahead of Carl Hardy here. So battle just for the top 10 is actually, look at that. Neve gets passed up by Harper. Oh. Elliot Harper is on a tear back through this field. You saw the bit of contact behind. Carl Hardy, Adam Fox, they slip up. And Carl Hardy now gets on by Adam Fox. Will be side by side with Nathaniel Goodman.
Yeah, they're going to go side by side. We're going to have to see who's going to have the higher top speed. Looks like it's going to be the car on the inside. It's going to be Goodman. So looks like the Honda will just have to cycle through. Will we see a move down the inside of bus stop? Looks like he's looking for it. Hardy may be looking for it, not quite close enough. So thinking about a move after the bus stop, get a better exit, maybe even get a worse exit, Andrew. We saw some slingshots happening on Tuesday As you can see here, a bit of separation between those two, but now that Honda is going to have the advantage of the slipstream, he's just going to be taking his time, building that speed, and just essentially slingshotting. As we take a look further back, that's going to be Adam Shepard, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's losing positions quite a lot. Yeah, that damage is going to be hurting him.
Yes, this is Adam Shepard in the white and purple Hyundai. Of course, got all that damage in that contact where Rob Baker turned him into the tri-oval, and he continues to lose places. This is now down to 21st position as he drops through this field after that contact we saw a bit ago. Up front, things are mixed up. Rob Baker lost all of that lead, and his teammate Tom McMahon has caught him. Mark Johnston has come along with, and oh, Shane Piggott has just had a crash. He is now into the pit lane, it looks like. Yes, so he might have just had to tow. This is a really, really wild race.
Yeah, this is really wild, and it's only the first of 4, Andrew, so we kind of have to get used to it. On Tuesday, I had to go through 4 water bottles, so I'm expecting more of the same here. But as you can see, this is a battle for the lead. This is Baker, well, McMahon chasing Baker. As you can see, Johnson just outside of the shot. Now, what's going to happen? These two teammates, are they going to help each other? Definitely, right? 4 minutes to go, just trying to get them to battle. Johnson could take advantage, though.
Onto the baking, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. There we go. Just under 4 minutes. You can see the teammates in a bit of a draft battle starting to work away from Mark Johnson just a tiny little bit, but it's going to be tough to just gap that 56 car. You can see Johnson's behind into the bus stop here. We should get the 2 to go signal next time by the flag stand of the tri-oval, and that will obviously spell time to go for the entire field. Here's a look further back in the top 10. Scott Malcolm still holding over James Neve. You can see Elliott Harper down the road as well. Nathaniel Goodman, Carl Hardy, they sit in the line behind, and Chris Knox wraps up your top 10 as they currently.
As you can see, this battle, this is kind of a good demonstration, I guess, of the power of the Audi. Looks like it's not losing as much ground as the other car, even though it is losing, obviously. The slipstream is going to be very, very powerful. As you can see now, are we going to see a move? Are we nearly going to see 3 wide? Looks like not quite. This looks like it's Goodman and Neve, if I'm not mistaken, as they're both chasing Scott Malcolm ahead. Could we see a move down into turn 1? Nearly going 3 wide, Andrew.
Now, one car way out the outside. That was Nathaniel Goodman way out there, still wide. Now gets back in behind Neve and Malcolm and even Hardy, and even Knox got on by as they go through the S's now to the International Horseshoe. 3 wide again. Malcolm out wide. Hardy way up the inside. Malcolm, a shot there to Neve. Neve is the winner in all of this. Malcolm went right to the back end of that car, and that was, again, Carl Hardy way out wide in the International Horseshoe. Now side by side with Chris Knox through the kink. They will go to turn 5.
Knox has the inside line. He's going to go deeper under braking, nearly making contact with Malcolm. Looks like he's going to be holding that position, so he's up to 8th place. So that's up 3 places since the beginning of the lap, so he's doing a fantastic job. Now he's going to be chasing Malcolm. As you can see, that gap up ahead. No, we're looking at further back. Looks like this might be Goodman, if I'm not mistaken, as we're on board. So you can see now, didn't Knox get a slowdown penalty? He's going up. He's going to close that back gap down to Hardy, and looks like he's going to be falling back in line, trying to maybe line up a move on Malcolm up ahead.
Only time will tell. Neve leads, Malcolm right behind, and this is not leading the race. Let's be clear there. Neve is in the 6th position, Malcolm 7th, Knox in 8th, Carl Hardy there in 9th, and Nathaniel Goodman rounds out your top 10. So a lot of Pro-Ams picking up a lot of points in this race, so long as they hang on. And for your amateur win, that would currently be Adam Fox, who we were on board with a few moments ago. Adam Fox, I think, might have also just picked up a slowdown way up the racetrack as the lead starts to mix up as they come to the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art.
Johnston goes high. He takes the provisional lead. Baker retains it, though, with that inside line. Who's going to go deeper under braking? Looks like they're going to go side by side. Can Johnson force his way around the outside? Looks like he's going to be pushed a little bit. No, Baker gets that position. He's going to be battling McMahon for second place at this time. He's going to have the inside line. Looks like he's not going to be challenging into the first International Horseshoe. So it's, well, what we saw a few laps ago, Andrew, the 51, 66, 56. But look at Rose. On the final lap, he's closing that gap back down.
I don't know where this guy came back from and all of that. Remember, he was in the wall spinning with Nathan Davies and just got the car righted just at the right time to put power back down and drive back up to these guys. Now with the battling, has been able to make up some ground, and he is officially in this fight for the race lead. So it's the top four, a four-car race. They'll go to turn number 6 and head back out onto the oval here. Rob Baker, Tom McMahon sitting in good spots. They're first and second, but they are sitting ducks with Mark Johnson and Aaron Rose behind. We saw it on Tuesday. Those two behind can easily link up. Is officially there. The white flag was done by Tucson Sound Art, but those two can link up and easily draft back by out of the bus stop.
As you can see now, Tom may be lining. He's not going to be lining up a move for the bus stop. As you can see, he's getting out of the way for the slipstream. Johnston could have some interesting ideas. They nearly made contact. That's a good strategy from Tom. He's creating a bit of a gap, or maybe slingshot his way past his teammate. He's going to be backing those two up. So this could either work out brilliantly or could, fail quite in a big way, but we're gonna have to see as they're heading into NASCAR 4. Looks like we're gonna see a 3 wide action for the finish, Andrew.
Rose goes up the inside, the teammates block, it's 4 wide now. Out of oval 4 to the tri-oval they will go. Contact, they're gonna crash, and McMahon goes on by on the inside to win race number 1. Wow.
Wow, Rose had that, I guess, one at that point. As you can see now, I have a car stricken. That's Baker, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely destroyed. So contact for a few of the leaders. Even more contact right here. No, this is a photo finish. Looks like just outside the top 10. What another finish we had, Andrew.
Across the line last there was Glenn Humberstone. Not quite last, actually. It's Fiona Siddons will be the next one across. There goes Fiona in 19th. Shane Piggott 20th. Jason Morris 22nd. 21st, rather. Adam Shepard will come across in 22nd. Finally, right there, does he keep it? Yes, just ahead of the teammates of Sir Alan Toon and Adam Height. No, that was Andrew Littler. There was Sir Alan Toon. Adam Height has fallen all the way back. Is Adam Height slow here? Yes. Has he run out of fuel, maybe?
Oh, if he ran out of fuel, that would be heartbreaking. Looks like he may just have, because I can't see that car just applying power. Maybe he's just trying to coast with the clutch on 20 miles an hour, Andrew. That I'm not quite sure if he can make it.
Roger Morton might be able to get there before the end of this race. These are for amateur points. These are both amateur drivers. Adam Height is going to go through the pit lane to try and shorten the distance. That's a good call there. 16 miles an hour, though. I don't think that's going to cut it. Roger Morton up on the banking in NASCAR 3 and 4. I think he's going to get there.
Yeah, probably. He's going well over 130 miles an hour. He's going to be able to take a look at his competitor. As you can see, probably taking a little bit of a glimpse there. You can see him 13 miles an hour. Yeah, there we go. So Morton passes him, crosses the line. Now the question is, can he finish? Can Adam Height finish the race? Might just be able to.
I think he's going to be able to. Of course, we will wait for him to come across the line and make these results official. This is heart out of Adam Height. After he finishes the race, I like this. I like this a lot. He's going to come across, and if he finishes this just barely, he will get 26th position, and I think he's going to. 7 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour. Heartbreak. Not before the...
Oh, yes, it would. I was just going to mention.
Is,
oh, there you go.
5,
yeah, that's the...
4,
oh, my God. Yeah,
3,
he got it.
Oh, there's 4. Just across.
Oh, there you go. I've never been this excited for someone driving at 4 miles an hour in my life.
So Adam Height wraps up the race in the 26th position. We can go ahead and fire up a old spinny wheel and get our first in of the day. Well, we had 31 cars, 26 of them finished on the lead lap, and we are going to invert 17 of them, which puts Duncan Pope provisionally on pole just behind, well, I guess he finishes behind Mark Oliver and just ahead of Glenn Humberstone. That's your there. Man, Fiona Siddons, if the wheel had gone just a little bit further, I mean, a couple of millimeters further, Fiona Siddons would be pole sitter after finish. Let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results from race number 1 in BSRTC Winter Competition, Daytona.
In first place, as you can see, after that exciting finish, Tom McMahon finishes in first place, just ahead of Mark Johnson. Aaron Rose manages to snatch a third place ahead of Rob Baker. Both of them in all of those in the first group in fourth place. Elliot Harper in fifth place finishes 5 seconds shy of the leaders. Chris Knox somehow manages to finish off in sixth place after pretty much starting the final lap in 11th, if I'm not mistaken. So a fantastic drive from him. James Neve is going to be snatching the Pro-Am win in 7th place ahead of Nathaniel Goodman and Carl Hardy in 9th place. Scott Malcolm is going to be finished off in 10th place to round off our top 10.
Finishing in the 11th position, which will put him in the 7th starting spot for race 2, is Adam Fox. That is the amateur race winner. Luke Kidsley there in 12th. Nathan Davies 13th after his crash with Aaron Rose. Ollie Ricks 14th. Craig Schill 5th. Mark Oliver 16th, Duncan Cope in 17th. So 4 amateur drivers will start the race for race number 2. Duncan Cope on pole, then Mark Oliver. Craig Schill, who won race number 2 in the Miatas on Tuesday after starting up front by virtue of the invert. He starts third, and it's going to work out again, maybe. Glenn Humberstone just misses out there in the spot. Fiona Siddons 19th, and Shane Pickett rounds out this race in 20th position. The back 11 JP, here they are.
In 21st place, we're going to have Jason Morris ahead of Adam Shepard. So unfortunately for Adam only 22nd. If that would have been an invert for 23 cars, Andrew, he would have been golden, but unfortunately it isn't. Sir Alan Toon is going to be finished off in 23rd place, there we go, ahead of Andrew Littler in 24th place. Roger Morton in 25th, ahead of Adam Hyde, who we just saw crawling to the finish. Michael Seal is going to be finished off in 27th, ahead of Jamie Goodall. Sam Smith is going to be finished off in 29th, ahead of Simon Robson. In 31st place, oh, there we go, nearly came out of my tongue, is going to be Lee Holmes, unfortunately 9 laps down.
So 31 cars in race number 1. We'll see how that turns over for race number 2. In case you, for some reason, decide that you don't want to watch the next 3 races, well, we got you covered. Upcoming broadcasts here at Pit Stop TV. There are plenty of them, although do get a chance to breathe. Finally, it's been a busy week here, but we get a chance to breathe. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no broadcast. That feels good to me. 7 and 5 days, I will take a bit of sleep, although I probably won't. But anyways, Monday evening, it's the BRP iRacing 8 Eastern at the Fairbury Speedway. Race 12 of 14, going right down to it. It is crunch time for all of those guys. Brandon Blank, Travis Miller, Brett Rolls, who are championship leaders over there. You should definitely tune in and see how that all precipice next few weeks. We've got Knock Hill there on Tuesday. So forward to Knock Hill. I really am. I don't know if I can express just how much I am looking forward to having Knock Hill Racing on the channel finally. It's coming on Tuesday at 8 p.m. UK. That is 3 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, we have the Nork iRacing Daytona weeks back at Daytona on Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely amazing. As you mentioned, I'm going to, repeat your words. I'm so excited for Knock Hill again. That's going to be a fantastic race course, a fantastic race, because these guys, you can put them on a karting race course. They're going to make it absolutely fantastic. So I cannot wait for next Tuesday. But obviously, first, before that, we have 3 more races tonight. So, we got to make them count. They definitely will make that count because this is just going to be crazy.
Well, personally, I'm hoping that we got the one night race. I'm hoping we get a little sunlight here. Get a little bit of dawn for race number 3. Morning race 4. I don't know. We'll see. But it is nice always to have. As you mentioned, we've got plenty of racing coming up. We've got plenty of touring car action the rest of the day. And that then is perfect reason to stick around here at Pit Stop TV for the round number 4 for British Sim Racers touring cars here for their winter series. Do not go anywhere. More race coverage at Pit Stop TV on the way. Welcome back. The virtual Daytona International Speedway warm-up underway for race 2 of round number 4 for the British Sim Racers Touring Car Thursdays. JP, we just saw one heck of a race to start things off, and I think it's only going to get a whole lot better. Still under the lights here at Daytona, still very much in the dead of night, but the racing is fully alive.
Oh, absolutely. I'm over the moon, and I'm really excited to see 3 more races tonight. This first one was really, really exciting, and I guess just kind of sets the tone. Now with the inverts, things are going to change quite a bit. We're going to see different strategies, and well, I guess overall, it's only going to get better.
Yeah, I mean, it's only up from here, right? We've only started the day, and still those 3 races to go. The top 17 inverted from race number 1. That puts Duncan Cope on pole with a couple of his amateur counterparts. Craig Schill rolls off from 3rd, and remember, he won race number 2 on Tuesday from a front of the field starting spot after the invert, after race number 1. So, I mean, it's right back in the same situation. Very much expecting Craig Schill to at least race hard. I don't want to put too much expectations on the result, just because I don't want to put too much pressure on him in case he's watching, but certainly expect him to be in the mix.
Oh, absolutely. I certainly do. He, as you mentioned, he won on Tuesday, so he has the experience of winning, and he knows how to run in front. Obviously, race number 1 did not go his way, but, I mean, who knows? This might be the comeback that he needs, and, well, anything can happen in Daytona. We mentioned that on Tuesday. We mentioned that today. We're going to keep mentioning it. Anything can happen, so I wouldn't rule out a non-pro driver winning once again.
Certainly. This is the best track for it. I think Bathurst might be the next one, depending on how that one goes for the finale. That's going to be a wild championship race for these guys, and is going to change things up quite a lot. So just waiting on the warm-up to finish on ticking down, and we will be right back trackside with these guys for race number 2. We're down to 3, 2, 1 just about, and we have a race here momentarily. A field of, it looks like about the same amount of cars, maybe a few less. And you know what, we talk about that. We've had leagues with 6 cars before. We've had great racing, so the fact that these guys have 28 for race number 2 is no issue by any means as we get ready to go trackside with the grid for race number 2. Again, that's going to be Duncan Cope on pole, ready to go racing from Daytona.
28 cars, as you mentioned. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Duncan Cope on pole. Quite a short run into turn 1, so he should retain that. Obviously, launching these cars, it's quite a bit more difficult than launching a Mazda MX-5, but still, with that short run, he should be able to retain that lead. And, well, from then on, is just keeping your composure, not letting the pressure get to you, and just trying to make it through the 15 minutes while on the lead.
The field is gridding up, a field of 28 now for race number 2 from 31 in race number 1. Just waiting on the outside pole sitter, I believe, to grid up, but I think we will have a race. And yes, green lights on the way here at Daytona. Waiting for them to fire off, and race 2 is underway. Look at everyone go down the making already contact. James Neve went straight into a car and puts him in the grass. That one car that was put in the grass still way down low, but everybody else works out of the S's now towards the International Horseshoe for the first time.
As you can see, the rest of the field looks like everybody's kind of, well, not in straight line. Looks like Duncan Cope is going to be losing that lead. He's going to maybe lose in second place, not quite. As a few drivers nearly going 3 wide in some occasions, as you can see there. Over the International Horseshoe, the last few drivers making their way as we cut now to the kink. As you can see, the rest of the field, even 2 wide action, Andrew. So quite a bit more racing in race number 2 than we were on race number 1.
And of course, the top 17 flip-flop means the guys who are fastest. Oh, there's a spin in turn 5. Contact there. I believe that's Sam Smith in the dirt. I think it was Alan Toomey, Roger Morton with contact there in the 5th corner. Back up front, though, at a turn number 6. Back up onto the oval. Nathan Davies is your race leader. Duncan Cope in 2nd place. It's Craig Schill in 3rd and Luke Kidsley in 4th.
Davies with already in a healthy gap to Duncan Cope in 2nd place. As mentioned, Schill in 3rd place. He's going to try to go for that win. As you can see, even more 2 wide action further back. As plenty of drivers making their way through the bus stop. Are we going to see changing positions on the run down to the bus stop? Looks like she'll try to make a move on Duncan Cope, but not quite close enough. Maybe on exit as we have a car going a bit wide.
Oh, he's that's going to be a slowdown for sure.
Yeah, 100%. That's a slowdown. So unfortunately, but no contact. I'll definitely take that.
Look at everybody fumbling around, getting onto the banking here, trying to figure out where they need to go. Your race leader is Nathan Davies, clear of the rest of the field by over a second after just one lap, and he is going to be a sitting duck whenever Duncan Cope and Craig Schill draft up to him. One lap complete. Look at this packet of turn number 1.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be only Duncan Cope and Craig Schill. Oh, contact!
Elliot
That's
Harper. Massive hit.
He's destroyed.
Oh, and he gets hit again. Is that
Lord.
his teammate? That's a teammate. That is Aaron Rose who gets sent into the already crashed Elliot Harper.
No. Oh my God. Rose cannot catch a break on at least on the first 2 races. Looks like that might be just race over on lap number 2. We're going to take a look at the replay just to see what exactly happened between those two. As you can see now, Harper going
Just
around the
loose.
outside. Yeah, just got loose and then contact, and then, unfortunately, that back in and out. He got taken out.
Malcolm hit Johnston. Johnston spun into Rose, and that's how they end up hitting Elliot Harper, teammates.
And he's stuck on him, on his teammate.
Wow.
That's just harboring. There we go. He gets loose, but that damage, we saw what happened with Shepard in race number 1. That car is definitely going to be losing a lot of straight line speed.
Oh, and more bad news up ahead. Roger Morton has had to tow and is, for the moment, scored as the leader for the wrong reason because he was the first one to get back to pit lane by virtue of the tow. Nathan Davies still your race leader. Craig Schill, second place. Luke Kidsley there in third, and we've got a battle to the bus stop.
As you can see, that gap really shrunk down. At the end of lap 1 was over a second. And now, well, Craig Schill is all over the back as now on board with Rob Baker. He's in 4th place at the moment. He's definitely taking a look at this battle up ahead. No, 4th place. He passed Kidsley, didn't he?
Well, he's still behind Kidsley. Remember, these guys they have to pass Roger Morton, who's in the pits. That's why Morton scored as leader right now. Baker is 4th, and he'll correct here across the line. You can see the gap narrowing down to Morton, who had to tow. And look at the 3 wide across the line. You've got teammates, it looks like, around Craig Schill. Schill on the outside, Davies inside. Johnson, or rather Kidsley, gets in behind him. And Schill on the outside is going to lose that spot.
Yeah, he went just a little bit too cautious maybe into turn number 1. He loses that position under braking. Now it's Davies from Kidsley. Looks like those 2 teammates might not be wanting to repeat what we just saw before. But looks like they're just going to be filing back through. Now Schill has to defend from Baker as we cut to Duncan Cope, our provisional, what was our pole sitter. He's all the way down into 6th place at the moment. Looks like Chris Knox may have just passed him. He's still in 2nd place in his class, though.
Yeah, Chris Knox did get on by Duncan Cope here. Carl Hardy with a battle from James Neve. A couple of Pro-Am and Am drivers alike. Michael Seal, who started on pole in race number 1, has sorted himself into 10th in this one, albeit with that left front damage. Let's see how it looks from behind. And there is Fiona Siddons in 11th spot right now. A really good run for her so far. This could be a nice little race for Fiona.
Oh, absolutely. Just shot the top 10. I mean, she's trailing a big train of cars, so definitely have to be cautious, just when to place a defensive move, when to go for an overtake. As you can see now, they're going to go too wide on the run down to the bus stop. I'm not quite sure why. Well, do you defend right now, Andrew? Do you just let them by and use their slipstream? A lot of strategies could work out at this moment.
There's Nathaniel Goodman, who tried her on the outside. Fiona outbreaks to the corner, loses that spot, though, as Goodman goes on by. Now Johnston stacked up. How did Johnston sort back to 13th? Johnson was up front, I thought. Anyways, now Johnson side by side with McMahon. McMahon going to try and go around the outside of Fiona Siddons on the banking here. If he drops in behind like that, he can get some draft and try and go after it. Is Johnson going to follow? Staying behind Siddons for now and is going to stay. And this is a heads-up move by Johnston, I feel, to stay with the amateur driver, try and fight the other pro. He's really fighting pros, not the AMs. Go ahead and try and bring that fight back to McMahon across the line, though. It is still Fiona Siddons in the front of this little battle in 12th spot. And now McMahon hard into the braking zone, around the outside. Fiona almost gets the inside wall and will have to relinquish that spot.
Johnson tried to, use that overtake from Tom's to help him as we cut even for the lead. It looks like Kidsley got past Davies. Davies now defending on the kink from Baker. Looks like he's going to be retaining that position. Not quite. They're still too wide, so Baker's going to have the inside line through the second hairpin on the second horseshoe. Will he have that position? Looks like Davies is not ready to give up just yet. They're going to go side by side. Now Davies will have the preferred line as they head into the oval section of the racetrack, as you can see, retaining that position with his teammate. Oh, contact a bit. Baker and Schill, looks like they did touch, but both of them keep pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, Rob Baker turned across Craig Schill's nose just a little bit there, and thankfully there was no crash. Craig Schill able to hang on, but is losing, has lost just a little bit of time. Thankfully, well outside of the draft range behind, so these four should be able to stay as a pack so long as Schill and Baker nail this bus stop and stay along with Kidsley and Davies, who now lead this race. Now, we speculate that they are teammates. They're in the same livery with Puma on the sides of the car, Motul there on the rear, but we don't know for certain. We just don't know. I mean, it's very easy to assume that these two in the same cars must be teammates, right?
Oh, absolutely. Those liveries look exactly the same, but, well, might just say if they race too hard, might not be the closest of teammates. But as you can see now, Davies with the run down into turn one, they're bumping each other. So kind of what we saw in race number one. So they're helping each other, Andrew. Could this be another hint?
Really, right now, they're fighting for their own race. They just want to keep Rob Baker behind them. And I mean, that's just smart heads-up racing, no matter if you're teammates or not. As Kidsley continues to lead, Knox goes purple behind, and then Seal goes purple in that Audi. So again, that Audi helping him. He's now up to 7th spot. He was just 10th a minute ago. Michael Seal making quick work of this field. Certainly has a vendetta against everybody else, against Daytona, after crashing out of the lead a race ago.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately for him, his out is going to be with no help, at least for the time being, unless he catches Hardy and Knox ahead of him. He's going to be punching the air. So Neve, well, he's going to have essentially not a free position, but will have a great opportunity to get that position back. And not only Neve, Ollie looks like in Cope, Duncan Cope as well. A lot of positions could be made up on the next oval section as soon as they get there, as you can see. Now, this is also a battle for second place, third place in the Pro-Am class, and behind them in the 9th and 10th place for second place in the amateur class.
Good eye, good eye. Craig Schill leading amateur, Nathan Davies leading Pro-Am, but Ollie Ricks and Duncan Cope are fighting now for second and third, and of course, as you said, well, it really is a three-car battle because Carl Hardy actually has that second spot in Pro-Am, albeit well ahead of Michael Seal and James Neve. And then you get back to these guys in the amateur class a little further back. And Tom McMahon, just outside of the top 10 now. What can he do in these closing laps? We're already into the back half of this race. In fact, across the start-finish line last time was halfway. Tom has got his work cut out for him. It's not going to be easy unless Duncan Cope keeps hitting that curb like that. That is going to be easy pickings, I think, for Tom McMahon to go around the outside and power on by the 912.
Look at the run he got. Unfortunately, he's going to be forced to the outside. As you can see, that run quickly disappears as now he's essentially matching speed with Duncan Cope. He gets the extra little bit of horsepower, I'd say, a little bit of straight line speed, and gets that position, clears Duncan Cope. Now he finds himself inside the top 10, chasing Ollie Ricks ahead of him. Fantastic race for him, isn't it? Just, I mean, already in the top 10. And there we go, fastest lap of the race.
With that run he had out of the bus stop, it makes a whole lot of sense. McMahon now into 10th. You can see that on the position indicator on the side of the car. And Johnston gets the best of Cope. And Goodman follows on by, gets on by Cope, which means, as you can see, that was Jamie Goodall trying to get on by Fiona Siddons. Fiona Siddons is not going to be able to try and get after Duncan Cope. That would be for third in class. That would be a podium if Fiona can get there.
Oh, but unfortunately, she ran a bit wide in the horseshoe. Is going to be conceding that position for the time being. So, unfortunately, falling a little bit under pressure, as you can see. Could we see a move being done to try and get that position back on the horseshoe? On the second horseshoe, looks like not quite close enough. Gets a little bit out of shape, but controls that car beautifully. So, looks like that's going to be 15th place for the time being. Now, she's battling with Adam Height for a place on her class, so we're going to have to see how that's going to turn off. You can see running a little bit wide. They're going to go side by side as they enter NASCAR's 1 and 2.
Hopefully Adam Height has a little more fuel in this race, but Adam does get the bottom side, Fiona on the outside. That puts Fiona back into 5th now in class, as Height will take over 4th. And ahead of them again, Duncan Cope is third, Ollie Ricks is second, and Craig Schill is the amateur leader in this battle with Rob Baker. Side by side through the bus stop, they will come around and get 2 to go next time by the stripe.
Baker made a mistake because he was in second place, if I'm not mistaken. So now he drops all the way down into 4th place.
I think these two just got into a battle.
Oh, yes. So, and look at those two behind him. Look at Knox and Hardy working together as well. They're going to catch up and catching up very quickly already in this lap. So those two battling up ahead are going to, well, their podium positions are going to be, well, under threat.
Chris Knox and Carl Hardy are closing in. Carl Hardy, if he can get there, he could battle with not Nathan Davies. Yeah, it would be Nathan Davies if he can somehow catch up to Nathan Davies, actually. That would be for the Pro-Am win, but I don't think he's catching Nathan. Nathan's well up the road, as this is a 4-car battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th overall. Schill around the outside is looking pretty good, at least for an amateur win for Craig, but it's not looking as great for the overall win.
Yeah, looks like might just be slipping out of hand, as you can see, going side by side with Chris Knox. So looks like Knox just going to be forcing him a little bit. Now he's going to have the inside line for the International Horseshoe, the second one, and might just get that position, as we're on board with Carl Hardy right now. And he's going to be trying to take advantage of each and every single battle that he's finding up ahead to try and make up a few more positions. Now Chris Knox, well, he's siding Rob Baker ahead of him. So as you can see, he's just making a lot of inroads in these races. As you can see, just up ahead on the, well, your left-hand side, as you can see, Davies 1/10 of a second behind Kidsley. So we're going to have a battle for the lead. But look at this, Hardy, will he go around the outside? No, taking his time. So as you can see, heads up driving, waiting for the second opportunity, Andrew, to try and get that place back and guarantee that position.
Baker and Knox going to battle to the bus stop as Hardy takes the inside here on Craig Schill. They will battle. Yeah, that's 2 easy spots, really. As Baker actually keeps the spot over Knox. Knox went high and Baker went low. It was the opposite here with Hardy and Schill. I do want to highlight a couple of drivers further back because Duncan Cope has had a problem. And here is Adam Shepard. Adam Shepard is following Mark Oliver. And Shepard is back here in 22nd. This has been a terrible, terrible day to follow up pretty good runs just without wins at Spa. And there is Duncan Cope, who started this race on pole and is now 23rd in the pit lane. Let's go up front because it's white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art, and that was close into turn 1. This is Luke Kidsley on the inside and Nathan Davies on the outside.
Nathan just maybe try to make a move on the outside. I should say he's going to be happy to stay in second place, at least for the time being. They have a healthy gap, 2.6 behind this group of cars. As you can see now, Chris Knox trying to go around the outside of Rob Baker. Can he make that move stick? Not quite. Watch out, Carl Hardy behind. He's definitely going to be trying to make up a few spots as we cut once again back to the leaders. Davies following extremely close. Kidsley looks like we're going to have a lapped car ahead of him. Ahead of those two, so we're gonna have to see how that's gonna play out in the upcoming corners. Andrew, we're gonna have a fantastic finish, not only for 1st and 2nd, but also for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Here we go, Chris Knox back over to the right. Baker gonna cover that up. Does Knox go inside? No, it's too late for that move. Good heads up racing here for 3rd. Hardy sits in behind, then it's Schill in 6th, then Seal further back in 7th. McMahon, Neve, and Johnston make up your top 10. Luke Kidsley, though, could get a win for the 2nd week in a row if Nathan Davies doesn't go after it here. Nathan Davies, if he wins this race, will be only the 2nd driver to win a race in this season as a non-pro driver. Let's see if he can do it.
He's taking a little bit of a gap, as you can see, allowing Kidsley to
be a big
build a
run.
gap. Yeah, he's going to get a big run. He got an excellent run. As you can see, he's already going to be going to the outside. Looks like Kidsley's going to be stuck in with the inside line. This is going to be a drag race, Andrew.
Side by side, Nathan Davies outside wants to become the first Pro-Am driver to win overall this season. Working on the outside of a teammate. That's Luke Kidsley inside, who won for the first time last week. They will fight down to the tri-oval for the final time in race number 2, and Nathan Davies grabs a win at Daytona.
Absolutely fantastic race, fantastic strategy. Baker is going to be finishing in 3rd place, holding off Knox. Hardy and Schill are going to be running off our top 6. McMahon finishes in 7th place ahead of Michael Seal and Neve. Johnston, after that lap 2 instant, finishes in 10th place.
Aaron Rose comes across just behind Fiona Siddons, and actually here comes Aaron Rose all on his lonesome after that contact early with Elliott Harper and Mark Johnston. There's Glenn Humberstone, and that's how Mark Johnson got sorted out back. That's right, I recall now. Johnston was in that crash. Littler comes across the line, then Jason Morris will come across, and Adam Shepard in 20th position. Disaster, honestly, for the number 17. We'll try and get a points update after the second race of the day and tell you where he's dropped to. Remember, he entered this day of racing just 56 behind Tom McMahon and has been very much outscored so far. There goes Scott Malcolm across the line, and the final car to finish will be Sir Alan Toon, who was up in the banking in NASCAR 3 and 4. The 965 will be the final one across, and if we have a 23 car invert for the second time, well, he is finishing 23rd for the second time, so if we have that 23 car invert, he will get pole. He is only at a NASCAR 2, actually. This is onto the backstretch. This is into the bus stop. He got sorted way back here. I wonder if he was a part of a crash at some point and is just now getting a chance to finish up this race. It says 24th on the position indicator. That will be 23rd once he comes across the stripe.
Unfortunately for him, as you mentioned, only now making his way through NASCAR's 3 and 4, so yeah, something definitely went wrong. He's still in the lead lap, so he didn't, I guess, dive into the pits or had to tow or anything, so maybe just extremely bad luck on this race number 2. As you can see, he's making his way through the trioval right now, and he's going to be finished off, unfortunately, in 23rd place. With that finishing position, Andrew, I guess it's time for our spinny wheel.
So Sir Alan Toon could be in a prime position to start this next race on pole. Let's find out here in just a few moments as we fire up ye old spinny wheel here at Daytona. Invert number 2 for race number 3 on the way. Last time it was 17. What is it going to be here for race 3? It's looking close, but 19 it will be, and that will provisionally put Jason Morris on our next pole position. Let's go ahead and take a look at our race results then from race number 2 of round number 4 in BSRTC.
And Nathan Davies with the absolutely last lap, essentially last meter overtake, I dare say, wins, and he's the first non-pro driver to win on the TC side of the British Sim races, so well done to him. Luke Kinsley only 35 thousandths of a second behind him. Rob Baker is going to be finished off in 3rd place, holding off Chris Knox in 4th place. Carl Hardy in 5th place. For 2nd place in the Pro-Am class, Craig Schill in 6th place is going to be winning his class. Tom McMahon in 7th place ahead of Michael Seal. James Neave is going to be finished off in 9th, and Mark Johnson in 10th place.
Finishing 11th in race number 2, you will find the number 995 of Ollie Ricks. Nathaniel Goodman comes across in 12th. That is, let me count up. So Ricks finishes in the 2nd place overall. Well, sorry, not 2nd place overall, 2nd place in class, in amateur. Goodman finishes, I want to say, yeah, 4th in Pro-Am, 5th for Jamie Goodall, 3rd for Adam Height in amateur competition. That's 4th then for Fiona Siddons in 15th. Aaron Rose finishes back there in 16th. Glenn Humberstone 17th. Andrew Littler 18th. And Jason Morris will start on pole for race number 3. From 17 to 19, we're keeping the inverts close, it seems, today. Adam Shepard finishes 20th. Boy, if he had finished 19th, if one other car had a problem, he could have been right back up front. Wow.
That's heartbreaking. Unfortunately, his work is not cut off for race number 3. He's going to have to do it all over again. So hopefully he can have a better race number 3 than he did on race number 1s and 2. Mark Oliver is going to be finished off in 21st place ahead of Scott Malcolm in 22nd. Alan Toon is going to be finished off in 23rd place. Duncan Cope in 24th and Shane Piggott in 25th. Both of them a lap down. Sam Smith and Elliot Harper, both of them 6 laps down after that. I'm not pretty sure if Sam Smith was actually involved in that lap 2 incident, but he's going to be finished off in 26th place. And Roger Morton, unfortunately, 7 laps down in 28th.
Word is that Sam Smith and Roger Morton had an incident there early on in the race, just like Elliot Harper. What I do want to do, and this is definitely going to be a bit interesting to catch up on. So if you recall, JP, we had quite a bit of some feelings after that first race, after the bump draft went wrong there with Adam Shepard and Tom McMahon. Word is that they had an incident here in race number 2. Now, if you're not in the BSR Discord, they had some words post-race. They were not very happy with each other. Mostly, of course, Shepard, who got turned, unhappy with McMahon. Let's take a look at what happened here at the start of the race to see what these guys are on about, because now McMahon feels that he was hit in race number 2 here at the start and feels that Shepard has done him wrong. Let's take a look. This is going to be interesting if we can pull this up here. So we're looking at Tom McMahon in the number 66. And right off the start, McMahon goes down to the bottom side. Here comes Shepard, a great start. Hits him there a little bit. I think that's incidental. Unfortunately, I don't think that's anything intentional. I think Shepard was trying to go middle. And then there's some contact. And then there's some more contact. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna share your feelings. The first contact was just, as you mentioned, incidental. Looks like a few of drivers had problems on that banking, just getting traction down. So, you know, I'm not gonna think too much of it. We're gonna take a look at here from Shepard's point of view. As you can see on board of the roof cam, as you can see, Tom, as you can see, just sliding back down. He tries to go for the gap, just unfortunately hits him. Not too much to think, just I guess misjudging the space there. Then we go down into the braking zone, and well, it's kind of hard to say, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, it really is. And usually when it's hard to say, that means a driver likely didn't do it intentionally, because it's so hard to argue that they would have, right? We'll take one more look back here, and we'll slow it down a little bit for you so you can watch the hands. That's the big thing, is watch the hands here of Adam Shepard. You can see he tries to go middle, can't find it, and is trying to balance a car on the outside as well. Doesn't want to hit either one. Let's slow this down. Again, usually when it's this close to call, it's probably just racing. So there is that check back to the right. Maybe a little bit more contact there, but he's also very clearly unsettled. The car is very clearly unsettled, so it's very, very hard to say. And hey, that's fun stuff, right? I mean, it's that kind of fun drama in racing. Fun for us, obviously, anyway. Not so fun for the guys down there who are going through it and have the emotions spilling over and whatnot. But with that, we get a chance. Not for a replay, actually. We will step aside and take a break here after race number 2. We'll be right back to you with race number 3 in just a few moments. Thanks for tuning in today on Pit Stop TV. A shout out to our partners here at the channel, of course, Tucson Sound Art, Permanent Makeup in Cryo in Maine, Whiplash Media, and BAM Racing Videos. We will see you in just a few with a third race grid. Welcome back to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Race number 3 on the way here for BSRTC. Today it's been a lot of fun. Points update. I said we were going to get that. I actually kind of forgot to go through that. You know what? To have that break and breathe for a second, that felt good, JP. But the drivers, they don't get a whole lot of opportunity. They've already been right back at it at practice. Warm up, getting ready for this third race, and they're already going to the grid. But I do want to take a look at the standings before this race starts. And so we'll go ahead and do that here as the field gets ready to go. Things are sorted out interestingly. Nathan Davies is now certainly up to second place overall. Adam Shepard has dropped to 136 points back, fourth place. So everything we thought he might be able to gain has been lost, and then some. Craig Schill is now your points leader in amateur, and he is now into the top 20. In fact, he is, it looks like, 15th spot. Boy. 14th actually. Roger Morton at 15th. A lot has shaken up today at Daytona. The field getting ready to go back after it. We've got 15 more minutes of action on the way. That is 8 more laps of TC racing for this third race. And then, of course, race number 4 just after it. And we're waiting on, I think, 1, maybe 2 more cars to grid up towards the rear of the field. Slightly smaller grids than we had for Miatas. But here we go. Everybody getting ready up on the chip, getting ready to get this race underway. And we're waiting for the signal with the green lights. Green is out at Daytona. Race number 3 is off and away. One car starting from the pits, that's Mark Oliver. He finally gets rolling now as everybody else works on through cleanly, it looks like, for now. That is always positive. Never mind. There we go. Big crash. Jamie Goodall sideways. The rest of the field, they get some damage. They stack up, but they keep rolling as Sam Smith is in the dirt there on the inside of the corner.
Looks like both cars that were slightly involved in an instance in the first International Horseshoe do file back safely. As you can see, a few battles going side by side. That was Chris Knox we just saw. Maybe battling with Tom McMahon. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, but looks like Chris Knox is going to end up losing that position for the time being. A few extra drivers going side by side, as you can see, as everybody follows safely. Is that the leader with that big of a gap already?
Aaron Rose well out front of this field already as everyone works through turn number 6 for the first time in this third race. Now up onto the oval once more. And through turns 7 and 8, the first side-by-side, that's Mark Johnson on the inside of Adam Height as they race for second. It's Jamie Goodall right behind, so maybe that wasn't Goodall that was in all of that. That might have been, I think it might have been Mark, no. Nathaniel Goodban, that's who it was. It was Nathaniel Goodban who was involved in that in the International Horseshoe. This is the fight into the bus stop. Adam Height takes a spot back away from Johnston. Everybody else comes on through. Shepard, a much better start to this race. Fiona Siddons, a good catch there on the outside. And one car through the grass. Hard to tell exactly who that is. Another car into the barriers there, and that, I think, has been Sam Smith. Yes, it is. Sam Smith is stopped. That left rear tire is disabled.
Yeah, looks like that car is destroyed, and unfortunately for him, that's going to be another race cut short on lap 1. As we can see now, the leader Rose, absolutely, I mean, a great gap, but that can easily be erased. It's already down to 0.7 of a second, so looks like it has already come down quite a bit. So unfortunately for him, his work is going to be cut off. And look at that, Andrew. That was fantastic to see.
McMahon on the outside of Siddons and almost contact. Siddons goes way off of the racetrack. Fiona's way out there wide in the dirt, loses a lot of spots, and takes a rally jump as well. You know what? Michael Seal is backwards in the S's, now gets back rolling, but it's going to take a lot to get back with the rest of the field. Look at everybody work through the International Horseshoe ahead. I was going to say I would like to see some British Sim Racers rally action. That would be pretty fun. Some Brands Hatch rounds, Knock Hill, and some others. That would be a lot of fun with these guys. Mark Johnston now in second place, Jamie Goodall third, Ollie Ricks fourth, Rob Baker fifth. Glenn Humberstone, this is where we get the first big battle. He is just ahead of Chris Knox and Carl Hardy. Adam Shepard is in this with Luke Kidsley. And boy, the day we get Linden Hill, I think is the day we can maybe convince these guys to go rally racing.
Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't mind if TC cars. Fiona Siddons did an absolutely amazing, I guess, first impression of TC cars jumping. But what a start we had from the number 17, Adam Shepard. He started off in 20th place, already up to 9th. So a fantastic lap one, as you can see now. It looks like Chris Knox made his way past, was that Humberstone? Looks like Carl Hardy now might be looking for something as they go 3 wide into the bus stop.
Oh,
Looks like
contact!
contact.
Great stuff!
Absolutely amazing. Hardy comes out on top. That's going to be even more contact a little bit with Adam Shepard and Glenn Humberstone. Looks like both of them are going to be filing safely. Wow, look at that. Shepard essentially divided.
Come on.
Contact. They're going to be, are they both safe? Yes.
He comes back on, and that is clearly against the rules that the league has set for this. You cannot pass below that yellow line. Adam Shepard needs a penalty out of that. I'm so sorry to get so agitated about that, but that is ridiculous. Lap number 2, and he is just taken out. Was that, I even forget, was that Craig Schill that he hit? Who was that? Humberstone, you're right. Glenn Humberstone. That is so unfortunate for Glenn Humberstone. That is ridiculous.
So it looks
the
like
league said going into this week, you cannot pass below the double yellow line. It's just like NASCAR. If you go down there, it is on you. Humberstone had the bottom. He was still in front of Adam Shepard, and Shepard, instead of lifting early in this race, decided to dip his left wheels onto that yellow line, go down there, and even once they were down there, he just chucked the car back onto the speedway. That is ridiculous. Look at this. There's not a car there. There's not a car with the vroom. That is clearly against the rules set by the league this week. And comes back on right here. Now, thankfully, it wasn't Humberstone that actually hit the wall. That was somebody else further back. That was one of the Lux cars. That was, unfortunately, oh my goodness, Elliot Harper can't get a break. Because of all of that and Adam Shepard's impatience, Elliot Harper's junked. I'm sorry, but that is so frustrating to see. So frustrating. This is your battle for the race lead as Aaron Rose and Mark Johnston are out front. So from one negative note to a positive note, these guys, a great battle through the bus stop. Rose turns this race around. Remember last time out, he was sent into Elliot Harper in turn number 1 and all of that contact. In fact, it was contact with Mark Johnston. So these two go from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs here.
Absolutely. Both of them fighting, have a healthy gap to Goodall. So Goodall might just be trying to hang on for that slipstream. As you can see now, Johnston getting an excellent run as they head into the trials. They head to lap, well, in the lap, looks like 3. It looks like no change of position, no bump drafting, no anything. So Johnston just taking his time. Goodall putting the pace, putting the work, fastest lap of the race. He's pulling, not quite Ollie Ricks at this time, but looks like that 2-car battle that we just had, Andrew, is going to be a 3-car battle very soon.
Yeah, Jamie Goodall, who I initially ID'd in that crash in the International Horseshoe on lap 1, has actually put together a nice little race here. Leading by quite a ways in Pro-Am. I mean, 6-7 seconds right here. This is a good race shaping up for Jamie Goodall. Just don't crash, and you're probably going to win in Pro-Am. And look at Ollie Ricks as well. Same story there for Ollie. Really good race here out of the 995, taking advantage of this invert and the new paint scheme on there. Extreme Racing Leagues, it looks like on the door. Driver 61 on that car. He does get passed up by Rob Baker there in the West Horseshoe, but still a really good run so far for Ollie Ricks in this race.
Really good. I mean, race number 1 and 2 as well were really good for him. He was always up there, wasn't he? Always fighting for the essentially top 5 for the amateur class, if I'm not mistaken. So he's doing a fantastic overall round this time. So he's going to be getting a lot of points in the bag. As you can see, as you mentioned, he got overtaken by Rob Baker. He's going to be using that probably to try get his way back into the top 3. Who knows? You know, these two can work together, as we saw plenty of times, to try and get that challenge for the overall top 3.
On board here with Ollie Ricks, your amateur race leader. By some margin as well, Craig Schill is the first of the amateur, or the second of the amateurs, I guess. The first of the amateurs trying to chase Ollie Ricks. And the gap is about 8 seconds, 7.5 seconds really, between Schill and Ricks. So this is a really good look right now for Ollie Ricks to win this race in amateur, so long as he keeps his car clean. This Honda of Craig Schill is quite a ways back, but even so, a pretty good run in class. But it's just like NARL, where these guys are still racing for points against each other. If you're Craig Schill, you have got to move up further in this field and get some points out of this one to keep this points lead. There's a battle further up as Carl Hardy and Adam Shepard go at it in turn 1.
Shepard trying to make trying to make a move into the outside, not being able to, at least this time, but he's going to be falling back through, as you can see now, getting a little bit of pressure, heading into the first of two international horseshoes. Looks like he's going to be retaining that 9th place for the time being. Scott Malcolm behind him. Andrew, something I just noticed, Chris Knox all the way down in 24th place. Something happened to him. He was inside the top 10 at one point, so unfortunately race number 3 not going his way. But yeah, unfortunately for him, as we cut back, well, we stay with Scott Malcolm trying to find his way past Adam Shepard, who looks to be struggling a little bit, maybe with tires.
Yeah, these tires take a minute to get up to temperature, and then they hit a pretty good spot in the race. I guess in the temperatures in the wear, if you will, and they come alive. And we shouldn't see any tire wear, at least not too much tire wear in this race. What we'll see is overheating, if anything, because I think they've been able to build temps pretty easily. So yeah, I think any issue we might see out of these guys would be overheating, just abusing the tires a little much, and building a little too much temperature in them. Up front, here are your leaders into the bus stop, well ahead of everybody else. In fact, they've got a second back to Goodall right now, and then everybody else behind. It is Aaron Rose leading, Mark Johnston second, and these two, if they just work together, as I say that, they go side by side. If they were to work together, they could gap Jamie Goodall and put a pretty good race together.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not, as you mentioned, gapping Goodall, but they're gapping Rob Baker. 3 seconds still. As you can see, both of them going, well, at it. Looks like Johnson is going to be leading this lap, filing just back ahead of Aaron Rose. Goodall got an absolutely amazing slipstream. He caught up well over 0.4 of a second that lap. So again, it turns into a 3-car battle, but looks like Goodall is just struggling a tiny little bit into this first section. As you can see now, Johnston going really wide, losing all that gap, all that momentum, and Rose could have something to say as they head into the horseshoe.
Now, Goodall and Rose are teammates, it looks like. So certainly that would be welcomed help from Aaron Rose. This is a good little battle further back in the race, though. Around 15th on back, Roger Morton is actually in 15th, chasing Shane Piggott, who leads this group in 14th. So 14th through about 19th, I think, 18th position, as Duncan Cope brings up the rear of this little gathering, is, right to the inside, right to that right rear quarter panel of Adam Height there. That was close.
Yeah, that was extremely close to making contact, but they both keep pointing at the right direction. As you can see, lining up, Duncan Cope using quite a bit of grass to line himself up for the kink, as they're now going to this big braking zone, nearly making a move, upsetting Adam Hyde, as you can see under braking, but looks like that's going to be, well, not a change for position, at least for the time being. Looks like Duncan Cope is, eager to get that position from Adam Hyde as we cut further ahead into 15th place. That's going to be Roger Morton. He's 3rd place overall in his class, so he's doing a really good job, just ahead of Goodben.
And it was just a pass made as these guys stay side by side. It's Neve and Malcolm. Shepard has gotten by and away from Malcolm as they will battle into the bus stop, and Craig Schill sits right behind. Good move there from Neve to stay in, to file in behind as, Malcolm misses the bus stop entirely. Schill's going to go on by. Neve already got well on by. Can Schill drop in front of Malcolm? Yes, easily. And McMahon now is going to work around the outside of the what number is Neve? 556? Yes. Is that McMahon? Yes, it is McMahon. Okay.
There you go, and McMahon goes down.
I'm sorry. Neve got by, and it was Malcolm who had the problem. Now Malcolm comes back on through, and Malcolm's going to have the inside on Craig Schill. I got completely mixed up with cars, and look at that. Purple for McMahon that lap.
Yeah, purple for McMahon doing the fast lap of the race.
Contact!
A bit of contact!
Malcolm!
Even more. Malcolm. And everything falls back as they were before the bus stop. Looks like McMahon is now going to be forced to the outside of Malcolm as they head into the international horseshoe. Even more contact between those two. And, Angel, looks like things are getting racy with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I dare say McMahon is going to get pretty frustrated with this. Malcolm, I think, gives that spot back up now out of the international horseshoe. No, he challenges through the kink, and he's going to crash! A crash here into the West Horseshoe. That's not what I would call a save. Doesn't hit the wall for McMahon anyways, but Malcolm stuffs it, I think, in the barrier. Yes, he did.
That's done.
That car is junk after all of that. Oh, boy.
Oh boy, indeed, as we cut back to the lead battle. As you can see now, Rose trailing Johnston. As looks like, Andrew, we're going to approach the white flag. As you can see now, bump drafting. So Rose Looks like he's going for the strategy. No, we're heading to the bus stop. I do apologize. There we go. So we're heading to the bus stop. And look at Rob Baker. He's approaching these guys. So we could have a 4-car battle for the lead on the final lap of the race.
Yeah, they've backed each other up to where Baker's been able to just sniff out a bit of that draft and catch up. Ollie Ricks has a miracle right now of Luke Kidsley as they work out of the bus stop themselves. And you can see Nathan Davies, Carl Hardy going after it. Carl Hardy, a really, really good day out of him as he's going to challenge for second spot here in class. They're both Pro-Ams, Davies and Hardy. Davies, of course, just got that race win. And Rose and Johnston side by side into the tri-oval. White flag is out, presented by Tucson Sound Art.
I'm pretty sure I saw a few brake lights from Johnston, so it looks like Johnston might be, well, he wants to be in second place heading into the final lap of the race. He wants to be, behind, getting the advantage of the slipstream. Looks like Goodall got a little bit wide on the exit of turn 1. Might fall under victim from Rob Baker. Looks like not quite just yet. So this is going to be an interesting finale for race number 3. Who's going to come out on top? Rose leading most of the race. Baker and Goodall go side by side, and Baker gets that position. At least for the time being. Looks like they're going to go side by side as they head into the King, who's going to come out on top on this little battle for third place. Baker's going to have the inside for the second horseshoe, and he goes deeper on the braking and gets that position done.
And yeah, Goodall needs to stay behind Baker right now. Do not challenge into the bus stop. Stay behind him. You guys can draft up there to Johnston and Rose and have a fair fight out of the bus stop if you do so. They work through turn number 6 and back up onto the oval here. Race number 3 coming to a close. They will all get lined up here on the bottom side of the banking. Behind, Luke Kidsley has passed Ollie Ricks. As you can see, it is officially the final lap presented by Tucson Sound Art. And Ricks and Davies goes side by side on the banking here. Shepard in behind. Carl Hardy there in the top 10 as well. James Neve should hang on to a top 10 so long as he doesn't bend things here on the final lap. Back up front to the race lead. Rose leads Johnston, who leads Baker, who leads Goodall through the bus stop. They all sit back. They play nicely. That's exactly what they all needed to do. And now Baker is going to have a massive opportunity around the outside, especially depending on what Jamie Goodall does. Goodall, teammates with Rose, is going to sit way back, and here we go. Baker's going to go around the outside. Johnston's going to push him up. We're going to have 3 wide to the line here, guys. 3 wide through the tri-oval. We will go. Rose, contact there. Rose gets pushed onto the apron, and it is Johnston across the line.
By 11 thousandths of a second, we have another photo finish, it looks like, for 5th place, if I'm not mistaken, as Rose is going to be finished off in 3rd place. Goodall in 4th, and Davies is going to be finished off in 5th place ahead of Kidsley. Ollie Ricks in 7th, Jamie Neve in 8th place, Carl Hardy in 9th place, and Adam Shepard looks like he's going to be losing a position on the final straightaway. Look at this, Andrew!
Whoa! Michael Seal, Adam Height, and I think was that Chris Knox. Chris Knox in that finish across the line. We'll get a replay of that before the day is done. Knox will now drop into 23rd. He might have gotten a penalty out of that. Piggott comes across the line 22nd. Malcolm will not make it back to the line as the lead lap cars. So let's, I guess, dig out the spinny wheel here in just a moment. Ye old spinny wheel of fortune and misfortune alike. The final invert of the day here at Daytona. Let's see how it goes for these drivers. Finishing 19th was Littler, 17th was Seal, 23rd was Malcolm, albeit 1 lap down. Is it going to be 19 again? No, it's 23. So that either will or will not work for Scott Malcolm. If it's not Scott Malcolm on pole, it will be Shane Piggott on pole. I believe Malcolm will not get the pole. I believe it'll be a 22-car invert then, because he was in that crash before the white flag, wasn't it? Was it on the white flag? I don't recall.
No, it was on the second last lap.
That's what I thought. So he shouldn't get the pole out of this, which is just so unfortunate. He was very, very aggressive that last lap that he ran, of course, as lap 7 of 8. Just diving into corners, and if he had just toned it back a little bit, I think he would have potentially, gotten a better result and not been left back there in 23rd for the starting spot for race number 4. That means Shane Piggott will start on the pole. Chris Knox, as unfortunate as his penalty is going to be to drop him down to 21st, will actually start second in this next race. Let's go back and see if we can't find what happened here across the line with Chris Knox and the like of them. This should be a lot of fun to watch. So Michael Seal is that red Audi behind, and there's Adam Height just ahead. So this is how these three get into a line. You can see Height's leading, a bit of a slow run out of the bus stop. That puts Knox around the outside. Height tries to defend, and Michael Seal is going to come into all of this, and he's just going to have an opportunity to try and pass the both of them. And this is all behind Duncan Cope, it looks like, out of turn 4, out of oval 4 on the banking. Seal going to go low. I like that move. Height tries to cover it up, tries to force him onto the apron, and that's what happens when you do so, crashing across the line. Wow.
Wow, and dude, that's just a cascade effect. Once you make contact, it's just rubber banding, isn't it? You just kind of just go back and forth with that contact, but luckily it looks like they all made it. I'm not quite sure what, well, if anyone got extensive damage, but anyway, it was the last lap. Let's
watch this pass for the lead again. This is for the win, and then we'll get those guys back to the line. This is so Aaron Rose leading, Mark Johnson second. We saw it happen live on board with Baker. These were all good moves, and eventually Johnson tries to come down in front of Rose right there after contact with Baker and just holds it across the line. And then further back, we have this little battle to the line. This was Davies and Kidsley. Then these guys, oh, Neve just got them all. I think, what? Yes, got Hardy and Shepard by such a close margin. And then let's get back. It's Morton, Piggott, and Goodman across the line. And then here comes this 3 wide. Just a string of really good finishes to the line. What was that difference for Neve? It was 0.002. We get, oh my goodness, we're gonna have to get a proper replay for this.
2,000th of a second again. We're kind of getting used to that injury. I'm getting used to that on road racing.
Look at how far back he is right here. Now you can see it. Look at those 5 cars ahead. I think one car checks up. I think they must have had slowdowns, maybe? Shepard goes high. He's got a slowdown. Morton checked up. No, that was Hardy checking up with a slowdown. They had slowdowns. And in all of this just opens the door for Neve to come on through from 10th up to 8th. Look at this move on the outside. Goes on by them both and across the line. That's how close it was. Let's back that up. Back that up. And let it go forward. Slow this down. And this is just incredible.
Now, this explains the massive run that he got, because that was absolutely insane. As you can see now, look at that close-in speed. Is just so massive. Obviously, those two slowing down, breaking up. But look at this. This is going to be extremely close.
Wow. And that was for 8th. That was for 8th position. Can you believe that? That's... wow.
That is absolutely insane. This league is just insane. These guys are absolutely insane.
That was really good stuff. Now, this does give us an opportunity then to put the B-roll back up and take a break here. Now, drivers, if you're out there watching, remember, you can go ahead and hit us up in the comms box and come on down and talk with us if you'd like. We can try and get one in before this next race. For race number 4, the invert should be 22, as that 23rd place car was, well, 1 lap down. So we will be right back. Race number 4 on the way. That's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
Sound Art introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. Sound Art ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Welcome back to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Light is adorning this place in all of its glory. Still a few lights on around the Speedway in Sim, and we'll get to it in just a moment as morning washes over Daytona Beach. We've got a driver to talk to, though, JP. We've got Roger Morton alongside, who came in today battling with some symptoms of COVID, but with the points lead, unfortunately, he has since lost it.
So, Roger, as Andrew just mentioned for the broadcast, you came in today not only in the lead, but also fighting COVID. How, I don't know, how is it to battle COVID, but still be leading the points and still being able to race on a league like this?
Unfortunately, I'm not leading now. Second by 42 points. I've struggled really this week in anything racing-wise I've done, but we keep going, we keep fighting. It's damage limitations more than anything else. Nah, we're alright, we keep going.
And obviously, with 3 races down and 1 to go, one final 15-minute race, how would you rate your day so far? How crazy was it? And, I mean, how excited were you? Of course, you lost the lead, so you're not going to be as happy, but, I mean, still quite a few things to take away, I assume.
Well, I was disappointed in my second race because I meatballed myself and unfortunately took out Sam Smith, which I apologise to him for. First race I took out and I meatballed, but managed to get repaired to get some points. So yeah, I had a good race in that last one. That was a good race. I had a good run to the line. But yeah, we'll keep going, we'll keep having a go, and we'll see if I can mix it up in this last race and see if I can steal some more points off top guys, see if I can get back towards the top again if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. The gap to second place is the gap to first place is definitely not too far away. Things can happen. We saw some crazy stuff happening tonight. So, well, your fourth race could be, the turning point, could get you back closer to that lead in the championship. Before I let you go and let you focus, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
I thank pretty much everybody who helps run this league. Thanks to you guys for coming on board and taking over on the broadcasting side. You're doing an amazing job. Big thanks to my team, Result Clothing. They're fantastic. They've basically brought me in when I first started on my sim and look after me all the time. And yeah, it's good. We'll keep going. But yeah, I better go because it's racing starts in any second now. So I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll try to talk to you later. Wishing you the best of luck for race number 4.
Thank you.
Well, Andrew, that was Roger Morton. Once our championship leader coming into this race, unfortunately, our second place for now. Things can still happen, though. With one 15-minute race still to go, things can change.
Yeah, and things will change further on in this race. If we take a look at the points, unfortunately, we can't get this on screen. Now, this is, I believe, one race behind. I don't think it's been updated after race number 3 just yet. because the totals look about the same. But Tom McMahon, Nathan Davies, Chris Knox. That's now your top 3, as Shepard has dropped to 4th overall. And as far as class standings, well, your top 5 in Pro are Tom McMahon, then Chris Knox, Adam Shepard, Luke Kidsley, and Rob Baker. Your top 3 in Pro-Am, or top 5 rather, in Pro-Am now, after a couple of races today at Daytona, are, well, tentatively Nathan Davies, Michael Seal, Shane Piggott, James Neve, Scott Malcolm. And over in AM, your tentative top 5 is looking like Greg Schill, Roger Morton, Fiona Siddons, Ollie Ricks, and Jason Morris. Adam Height is very, very close to getting up into that 5th spot. In fact, it's about 20 points after that after race number 2. We'll see how that changes after the rest of the day. There's still a lot to happen in this next upcoming race. In fact, we can go back over to the sim and look at these morning scenes. That sunrise coming up here over virtual Daytona Beach. It's going to be a lot of fun here for race number 4. Much like with the Miatas for race 4, we are into the morning, and these guys are getting ready to turn their cars loose and go after it for another 15 minutes. Hopefully fewer yellow line incidents, as the red lights will come on. They will give way momentarily to green. And Scott Malcolm is on pole for this one. Green flag flies. We're racing again at Daytona. Race 4 on the way. Already, Chris Knox has gotten the race lead from Scott Malcolm. 2 cars in the wall, Adam Height and 1 other. That is Nathaniel Goodman, as Ollie Ricks also has a problem. Look at this gaggle out of the International Horseshoe. They'll work on down to the kink. And then the West Horseshoe, Ollie Ricks is in the grass. Keeps the car under control for now. He's trying to get back on and finally does. Rob Baker goes up the inside. Back up front, it's all Chris Knox, then Scott Malcolm. What a start here for race number 4, and more crashing. Roger Morton involved, Mark Johnston involved. We've got Aaron Rose in the wall. We've got, oh my goodness, just a massive crash in both horseshoes.
A lot of things happening in lap number 1 already. As you can see, Chris Knox absolutely leading the field as we head into NASCAR's 1 and 2, as we head into the bus stop. As you can see, the rest of the field in a single file, Andrew. So everything that happened in the midsection of the racetrack, in sector numbers 2, I'd say.
And much like race 4 on Tuesday, this race is going to be blown apart. It's going to be completely different from the previous 2 races. Look at the moves down the Daytona Superstretch as well. Side by side for second, Malcolm and Piggott battle. Those are both Pro-Am drivers battling for their lead, along with Michael Seal. And oh, 1 car into the dirt here. Slowing down now is Jamie Goodall, who cuts the course just a little bit through the bus stop and has to recover and get back on the track. Up front, again, Chris Knox leading the way by a large margin. Then it is 3 Pro-Am drivers, followed by Adam Shepard.
Yeah, 3 Pro-Ams, a great start for a few of those. As you mentioned, Chris Knox absolutely driving away. That lead might not stand for too long, as if these guys start working together, as we're on board with Adam Shepard. Is he going to try to thread the needle? Yes, he will. He got already new. There he goes. So he backs off quite smartly. Oh, what a drift for Scott Malcolm.
Way out wide as he chases the back end of that car, and here comes Tom McMahon with a run now, trying to get on by Malcolm, and contact there. Malcolm squeezed him, and Malcolm is hard in the wall, comes back across, gets McMahon.
Oh, McMahon, can he save the car? Not quite. As you can see there, the fallout of that incident. Everything is happening, Andrew.
A lot of carnage already in just the first couple of laps here. Craig Schill gets on behind Tom McMahon up front. Here we go. The battle for second. Shepard up the inside. Gets in front of Piggott. Seal follows through, and that is good for Seal to get the Pro-Am race lead.
Not for long, though. Looks like Piggott is still going to be trying something, not on turn number 6 as they enter the oval section of the racetrack. As you can see now, Seal is going to be chasing Shepard, so he's going to have the help of that slipstream. Piggott is going to be trying to, well, essentially get anything out of it, but is this going to be the battle? Is this where the Audi shines, Andrew?
Well, we've got some other battles with some other Hyundais, actually. Let's talk about these guys. Sam Smith, Ollie Ricks, Mark Johnston. Johnston was in that battle and just won race number 3. Is now battling here with Sam Smith. Ollie Ricks there on the outside. He's going to follow Sam Smith down to the bottom Just such good racing throughout the entire field. These guys will go to the bus stop and they sort things out for 11th, 12th, and 13th. Ricks comes back on. Maybe a little bit of contact there into the corner with Sam Smith popping that curb. They all get back going. As, boy, what an opening here at a race number 4. There's your race leader. He's got 3 seconds. This might be the first time we see a driver check out.
Yeah, this might, as you mentioned, might just be 3 seconds. Although if they start working together, if Matt, Seal, Shepard, and Pigot start working together, well, that gap can really come down very, very quickly. It looks like they're battling. Michael Seal now goes fast as Neve steals that fastest lap. Baker steals it once again. Looks like everybody's going fast. As you can see now, Shepard defending, getting that position back from Michael Seal. Wow, looks like this battle's not going to go away anytime soon, and Chris Knox definitely hopes so.
He needs these guys to keep battling like this. This is really good for Chris Knox. This could be an easy race win for him. If we go over to, I gotta find this again. I believe he's got a race win on the season so far, but where was it? I think it was Donington Park, wasn't it? Yes, it was race number 2 at Donington where he won, and he just might do it again here today in race number 4 now at Daytona. Shepard right there on the yellow curbing on the inside. Now, these guys being orderly on the oval is what's so key. They can battle in the infield a little bit, but they don't want to lose too much time. They've got to get back into a line for the oval and draft in a nice orderly slipstream, and they will be able to still race but make up some time here as they still have 10 minutes to go in this 4th race on the day. Some battles further back. Let's take a look at them as Davies gets on the oval behind Rob Baker and Andrew Littler for the first time in a proper position up here in the top 10. Really the first time we've seen that 933.
In a great position right now. It's top 7 at this moment in time. Obviously, he's going to have to defend. Looks like from Baker, who's going to go high, maybe switch to low as they enter the straightaway just before the bus stop. So it looks like Baker might just have that position for now. Littler concedes that position right now. Be careful not to concede too much time as we have nearly 3-way battle and 3-wide battle.
Oh,
there's contact.
Ollie Riggs with an amazing save. Wow. Takes a couple of cones with him for good measure, but a really good catch. And here comes Carl Hardy between Ollie Riggs and Craig Schill. 3 amateur drivers going at it. Actually, Hardy is listed as a Pro-Am, so maybe not. But regardless, good stuff. Good stuff here.
Great stuff. That was absolutely fantastic. As you can see now, Shepard once again defending. Pickett is going to go around the outside of Seal, and they all slow it down. The positions remain the same. Now it looks like Luke Kidsley might have something to do with that because he's going to be trying to sneak into this battle. So, Andrew, what I thought that they were going to work together to catch up Chris Knox looks like not quite. They're working together to allow the rest of the pack to close in on them.
Well, Adam Shepard made up a little bit of time, and he might make up some more time here, but it's going to be difficult to do on his own. 3 seconds as a solo, that's going to be tough. He's going to need some draft help here from Michael Seal. And oh, look at these guys. Kidsley to the apex of turn 5 through the West Horseshoe. He gets that spot for a moment, but that means Pigot's got the inside for turn 6. Pigot late on the brakes, challenges into that 6th corner, and gets it away from Kidsley. Maybe some contact as Kidsley took evasive action, and now Neve follows in behind.
Neve's going to definitely try to, well, I guess, take advantage of each and every single contact, each and every single battle like that to try and make up many positions as we now cut even a bit more, it looks like, to the back end of the grid. Sam Smith trying to make an overtake on the driver ahead of him. I'm not quite sure who that is, but looks like this might be a battle for the top 15, top 16 position.
11th and 12th here, working down the Daytona super stretch. Johnston defending from Smith, I think working together a little bit as they've started to gap the cars behind, and Carl Hardy and Tom McMahon, and they could as actually, Mark Oliver has just taken a big hit to the inside wall. That is not how you get through the bus stop. I saw one car go off, but I thought maybe my mind was playing tricks. There we go. And no, certainly he has taken a heavy hit, and that car is done. Well, up front, already the race leader across the stripe to complete that lap, and everybody else comes on through. Got a nice little battle here.
Yeah, this battle is not going away, and I like that. Shepard still having to defend from Seal, who's having to defend from Pickett, who's having to defend from Kidsley, who now has to defend from Neve. So a lot of drivers trying to defend and attack.
Oh, our leader! Chris Knox has just spun and given up a second. That is surefire a win gone for him. Well, maybe not gone, but the surefire win gone, and he's going to have to defend all of a sudden. Can you believe it?
Oh, I definitely cannot. As we had the reaction at the exact same time. We just saw that puff of smoke and a Lego car facing sideways. Unfortunately for him, 3 seconds cut down to 1.2.
I'm stunned, absolutely stunned here. Chris Knox, I think, had the best chance of anybody to just win this race after leading the entire thing. Throws it away a little bit. He's still got the race lead, obviously, but a much smaller gap behind. Now only a little over a second. And if you're Michael Steele and Adam Shepard, now you can taste that chance at victory. Now you have much more reason to get in line and draft here. Use that slipstream. Steele might take it up the inside into the bus stop. Is this behind him? Yes, he will. Bump draft there. Gets Shepard a little squirrely, but keeps on the back of him. And into the bus stop. They caught 2/10 there, just from turn 6 to the bus stop. And oh, Steele a bit wide. That might be a slowdown. That's certainly a 1X. And yes, that is a slowdown. My goodness.
That's going to be heartbreaking because he was helping Shepard, so he might be losing third place. Looks like his gap to Shane Piggott was a bit over a second, so I'm not quite sure he's going to lose. So Shepard's going to be all on his own now to attack Chris Knox. Seal looks like
he's got the draft.
Yeah, he didn't clear that penalty just yet, I don't think. Seal.
Now he finally will, as these guys come on by 3 wide. So it's a battle for third. Then oh, Piggott squeezed Kidsley up the racetrack. Got to have a little awareness there of how that's going to shake out 3 wide. Thankfully, they continue on. Maybe a bit of contact there. Kidsley now going to have the outside into the international horseshoe, as up front, Knox and Shepard are going to do battle, and Adam Shepard has been all take and no give all day long.
This might be his comeback drive. He didn't have the best of, well, the first 3 races, so this could be his best chance to essentially bounce back on the championship. He came in the championship 2nd place. He's down into 4th place already, so he needs these points to win. So he's going to have to essentially make clear. Looks like we did have something happen. At least 3 cars looks like they were involved, Andrew.
Carl Hardy and Andrew Littler with trouble back here, but we'll go back up front and keep this battle rolling. This is going to be good stuff. 4 minutes to go, and Shepard is in a prime opportunity. If Shepard and Knox link up and start drafting away here, they can do some damage to the rest of the field and keep the Pro-Ams out of these 2 points. I think that would be ideal for these guys, but they've got to do it right as Piggott and Kidsley get back onto the oval and get their own battle rolling. Here is Seal. Oh, and gets Kidsley a bit sideways, maybe? Or maybe just the move there from Kidsley. That was aggressive regardless.
Yeah, just trying to essentially get out of the slipstream in the last moment possible to essentially use that slipstream as best as possible. As you can see, he clears him, so it looks like Shane Piggott is leading. No, that's Luke Kinsley. He's leading the small pack right now, so it's a top 3 for pro drivers. And did he get a slowdown? No, he's still going 2 wide. Look at that Audi coming.
Seal going to give a bump here to Kidsley, just up the racetrack, contact with Piggott. You've got to be so careful with that run. Oh, man, we see it in NASCAR races all the time. We saw it in the Nork iRacing Series Truck 250 the other night. You've got to be so careful with rounded bumpers. And we saw it with Adam Shepard earlier on, and Tom McMahon and several others. You've got to be so careful with those bump drafts. And there, Steele was not. He hit him a ton. And, boy, that was almost disaster up on the banking. Now Steele aggressive into 1. Gets the inside, gets that spot from Piggott, and now we'll follow Kidsley through as our leaders are nose to tail. We might see a move here from Shepard. Shepard looks left, now looks back right to the apex. He somehow gets that spot from Knox.
Gets that car slowed down on the inside line, gets that position, leads the race momentarily for the time being, blinks a little bit. Looks like that's going to be scaring Knox. Not too much because Knox is going down the inside of the kink. They're going to go side by side into the 2nd horseshoe. As you can see, Seal trying to line up a move as well. Knox goes deeper under braking. He's going to take a wider line, trying to cut back. Oh, Shepard, he gets there. Looks like Shepard just squeezes him out a little bit, retains the lead for the number 17 driver.
And if I recall correctly, these 2 were the center of a protest after Donington, where Knox was forced off the racetrack by Adam Shepard. This could get hairy these next couple of laps. Well, I guess these last 2 laps, as Kidsley, Steele, and Piggott start to make some inroads on these 2. That battling in the infield really hurt them that lap.
Absolutely. That gap was 2 seconds. Now it's 1.1 for the lead. As you can see, Knox really racing, getting that position, getting that momentarily.
Shepard
Yeah,
could
that-
maybe protest that as far as going below the yellow line. It wouldn't have mattered. There was room there anyways, but he could maybe get away with a protest. And look at this. 3rd, 4th, 5th, they're all here, even all the way back through 6th. It is a 6-car race for the back end of race number 4 for the race win.
There we go. So now Knox leads as they're going to approach the white flag lap, the final lap. Shepard in 2nd place, Kidsley in 3rd, Seal in 4th, Piggott and Neve 5th and 6th. 6 cars, Andrew, could win this race. Looks like Shepard is going to be trying to get that momentary lead as they head into the final lap.
White flag, presented by Tucson Sound Art. 1 lap to go at Daytona. Kidsley pulls up behind Knox, who gets the race lead back on the inside from Shepard, and now Shepard has got a car to the inside of him. That is the number 88. Seal sits behind. He's your Pro-Am leader. It's 3 pros, 3 Pro-Ams, as we're going to have one heck of a battle here to the end. Seal right to the back end of Shepard right there through the International Horseshoe. That was close. Now Kidsley out there, and Seal has got the right side rather on Kidsley. They'll work through the kink. That's going to be advantageous for Kidsley at first, but the line for Seal, and you can see Kidsley backed out. Seal was able to take the curbing. Now up the inside is Shepard. Gets there. Shepard gave him just enough room to mess up and stay behind him.
Shepard, with absolutely no fear whatsoever, was committed to taking that line. Seal had to back off. So the lead, the top 3 is going to be Chris Knox, Adam Shepard, Michael Seal, as they... Ooh, it looks like we did have a move back, a little backwards in this grid. As you can see now, Shepard is going to be under the threat from Michael Seal, and that's everything that Chris Knox needs.
Well, there was contact. If you saw there was a bobble out of Shepard. Seal got there on exit, just putting the power down early, and now Seal going to try and push Shepard up to Knox. I would maybe wait here, guys, but they might go for a move. Yes, there goes Seal 3 wide because Shepard dove down as well. Shepard to the inside of Knox. I don't like that move. That gives everybody an opportunity here to the checkers. You can see how far Knox lead back. Knox knows to sit back and get a run. Let's ride on board with Seal as we race to the checkers in race number 4. Shepard leading, Knox 2nd, then it's Seal, then it's Kidsley, Piggott and Neve, your top 6 going to race back to the line here at Daytona. Can Michael Seal do good on his initial pole position? Shepard blocks up the racetrack. Knox goes high. Here goes Seal. Knox going to try and squeeze. Seal has got that spot outside and to the checkered flag. Michael Seal could do it. Yes! I think so. Michael Seal finally gets that win. He started the first race on pole and lost it early, and now races back and gets a win in race 4.
Absolutely amazing job. Did everything he needed to do. Utilize that Audi power as we have a 3-car finish right here on the camera. Utilizing that Audi power, that higher straight line speed to get that win by 0.005 of a second. The timing sheets are scoring it. So extremely close and extremely good job. I can tell. Can you tell, Andrew, that he's a little bit happy with that result?
Yes, ecstatic there for Michael Seal. Really, really good move. He did everything he needed to do. I knew when Shepard took that pass on the inside of the bus stop, that was it for Adam Shepard. If you lead into the bus stop, you will not win these races, period.
And what a finale for 4 amazing races, isn't it, Andrew? Another non-pro driver winning this race. I guess you can call it an upset, but Michael's always there. So I'm not quite sure what to call it, as we're gonna have reverse donuts. That's the first time I've seen that.
Well, when you have front-wheel drive cars, it doesn't usually work to do donuts going in the forward direction. The wheels just aren't even spinning. iRacing can't even keep up with this, but yeah, celebration there certainly from that of Michael Seal. Let's go on through your unofficial, for now, race results. Winning race 4, that's Michael Seal. Chris Knox 2nd by 0.005. That's 5/1000ths of a second. Adam Shepard there in 3rd. Kidsley 4th. Piggott your top 5. Wow. So Seal gets the Pro-Am win along with that, of course. Piggott then is 2nd in class. Knox gets the Pro win. Your amateur win is going to come somewhere in the 11th spot, but that is your top 10. Neve, Davies, Baker, McMahon, Johnson there are the top 10 as well.
In 11th place, it's going to go to Craig Show. So Craig is going to get the amateur win in 11th place ahead of Jamie Goodall. Ollie Ricks just missing out by 3 seconds, give it or take it. with a photo finish as well, 0.05 between him and Jamie Goodall. Sam Smith in 14th place ahead of Glenn Humberstone. Fiona Siddons in 16th place. She's going to be the last driver to finish on the lead lap because Carl Hardy in 17th is going to finish a lap down. Andrew Littler is going to be finishing off in 18th place ahead of Mark Oliver, and Scott Malcolm, 6 laps down, is going to be the 20th place driver.
Finishing 21st in our final race of the day, that's Nathaniel Goodman. Aaron Rose there 22nd, Roger Morton 23rd, after the unfortunate contact with all those guys in the first couple of laps, and Adam Height there in 24th. What do you say we go back and try and get a replay of that finish to the line? That was really proper racing. Just good stuff from those guys. So let's go to the onboard, well, not the onboard, the overhead rather. Seal, there's that contact in 6th that I was talking about. Gets into Shepard just that little bit, but it sets up for a really solid finish.
And this is, I guess you can call a mastermind from Seal, because I'm not quite sure if Adam would have gone for the move into the bus stop if it wasn't for this second push. So as you can see, Seal just comes in here, bumps him, gives that Hyundai an extra little bit of straight line speed, pushes him once again, so I guess kind of forces Adam's hand to go for that move into the bus stop to avoid any contest. So he just sits on back, creates a little bit of a gap. Same thing, Chris Knox does the same, and just goes a little bit wider, gets that cutback line on the edge of getting a slowdown penalty, and then, well, just keep his fun at it, uses that Audi power, and just gets the win at the line.
Really good stuff here. Really good finish. Knox goes high, Seal stays low, and then pops way up to the top side of the racetrack. My goodness, this is really solid stuff. Into the line they go. See how close it is to the line right here. Seal on the top side, Knox down below. You can see Shepard slotted in line behind that 23 and to the stripe. The difference, only 5/1000ths of a second for the Ignia Motorsport driver over Chris Knox. So close right there. Wow.
Wow, indeed. That's the second photo finish we had only today. And that's only for the lead. We had plenty more throughout the field. We're kind of getting spoiled, Andrew, aren't we?
Yeah, these finishes have been fantastic. Let's watch this one more time. This will be the entire finish from the tower here at Daytona. Seal just sets all of this up. This was really good stuff. I don't know if it was all perfectly planned, but it went really nicely. He ducks low. Adam covers it up. And I just think Adam Shepard should have stayed behind, should have showed his nose, and look at everybody close in. Kidsley, oh my gosh. The closing rate there is they fired into the bus stop to give themselves a chance here out of the bus stop. That was good stuff as well. And Kidsley, unfortunately, still finished 4th. Couldn't make good on that challenge there, but this is everything setting up. Watching the draft accordion here. Shepard gets caught up by Knox. There's the move high. Shepard tried to block, and then there goes Seal. Basement to attic, and it's a run to the line. Just amazing stuff.
Absolutely incredible, and worked out perfectly by 5/1000ths of a second. That is extremely close as well. I'm just out of words.
Let's zoom this in a little bit, and you can see just how close it comes down to across the line. Back that up one more time and let it play through at slow-mo. This is just so good. Well, all of this said, we do get a chance to talk to some drivers here on the far end of the racing at Daytona. Let's at least watch this finish one more time across the line. This is just so good. And the Audi, a shorter car as well, gets on across the line just ahead of the longer Hyundai, gets that race win. Let's go ahead and bring in our 3 drivers that have elected to sit along with us here for some post-race interviews. We're going to kick off with the race winner from that one, Michael Seal. That's just proper stuff, and he's headed your way, JP.
So, Michael, I mean, how does it feel to be an overall race winner?
Yeah, it was a race I was determined to win that one. It's pole from the race 1. It didn't go the way I was expecting tonight. So,
oh, there we go. You can go. I'll let you finish.
It's all. I was a bit aggressive in that final race, but it was the way I was going to make progress. I'm working with the guys who I know were quick to be at the front, and it was clean. Like, everyone stayed clean. There was no incidents, and it was great racing.
And absolutely, you mentioned, a great point. You were pole on race number 1, so you had the pace. We mentioned, me and Andrew, I guess we speculated that was due to the Audi, I guess, not higher horsepower, but higher top line, straight line speed. Would you agree on that?
I guess it could be that, but it is the Audi hits the limiter on the straight in the toe before you get to the pit lane entrance. So when you max out, as where the others seem to keep building speed all the way up to turn 1. But they're very, very close on top end. They've all got strengths and weaknesses.
And when we talk about this final race, because this was just absolutely insane, we just kept rewatching that final, battle that you had. Was it all planned, the push that you gave to Shepard to make sure he went down the inside of Chris Knox on the bus stop?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It is. I knew Adam was always going to go for the move if there was something to have, and I knew Chris was likely to try and run him in side by side. So, force the two in front of me to race. Then I can check up and half plan a move, which worked out in the end.
Well, there you go. I speculated as all that was all planned out, and it worked to perfection. 0.005 of a second, that was the gap, and you won the race. I guess you're the first Audi driver as well to win a race. And, well, obviously, that's, this race, Daytona, is going to change a lot coming to Knock Hill next week. How do you prepare for such a different race course?
I struggled a bit in the Audi when we did the King of the Hill event. So I'll be happy if I can stay in the top 10 pace-wise. I think that's where my pace will be next week, but I'll always push for better.
Well, we're definitely going to keep an eye on you, and hopefully we can talk to you next week. But before I let you go and let you focus your practice not only on next week, but also the Daytona 24, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
It's thank all of the drivers which take part each week, and we've had a few incidents along the way, but it is the racecraft we've got out the front at the moment is top quality. It's really good racing and always close finishes.
Well, absolutely. It's always fun to, commentate, to watch these races because you guys are absolutely fantastic. And with that being said, Michael, I'm going to let you focus and hopefully we can talk to you next week.
Yep, thank you.
Well, Andrew, that was Michael Seal, our race 4 finisher and race 1 pole sitter. I actually kind of forgot about that, but he had the pace from the get-go.
Yeah, he got that pole, and like I said when it all happened, had that mistake very early on in race number 1, kind of gave that whole race away, and it came back and made good on it there at the end, getting that win when it was, I think, really most important to finally get those good points at the end of the day. Really, really important for him to do so. Good stuff there. Let's move on down the line by finishing order to Chris Knox, who ends up putting together a solid day of racing. Chris, it seemed like we always saw that Lego car in the mix, even if it was hitting the wall on occasion. How'd the day go for you?
Yeah, pretty good. Got nudged off in a few of the races. One of the races I didn't even make second gear before I was shoved onto the grass, which was interesting. But yeah, I think the worst result was like a 7th up until race 3. I think it was like a 20 odd. But yeah, good to come back. I was obviously gone at the front, but I like racing hard and driving on your own's boring. So I used the e-brake to go into turn 3 just to let them catch up a little bit. And,
did you really? Was that intentional?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Now, are you claiming that's intentional to cover up?
I'll show you my replay.
Okay, well, fair enough. So, all right. So, well, you did get away with that race lead in race 4, and I thought you were gone. But let's talk about that start where we saw one car come down and get you, and we saw the Miatas. Obviously, the rear end goes left because those are the rear wheels that are spinning. In these cars, it's the front wheels that spin, and the front goes left. How do you control that kind of a start on obviously 18 degrees of banking?
I did a couple of practice starts, which I think people were kind of a bit puzzled about. During practice, I was just turning right and going across the tri-oval and pulling up on the front stretch just to try it, and it was fine. It didn't pull down at all. But yeah, the unfortunate incident in race 3, I think James had his steering lock 90 degrees left when he pulled away, which pushed me on the grass.
Well, all in all, it ends up a pretty good day for you, at least at the end. Race number 4, you get second place, and you're in a pretty good spot in the points as well. I don't know if they're completely calculated through all 4 races today, but you're in the top 3. How do you look at Knock Hill then? Obviously, it's much shorter. It's going to be pretty chaotic. How do you look to Knock Hill?
Well, unfortunately, I'm off working for the next 2 weeks in France, so I'm going to have to miss the next 2, which is unfortunate because Knock Hill's my local one. But yeah, once I get back, I'll be back on for sure in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, I thought it was you that I talked to that said Knock Hill was your home track on Tuesday. So we'll see you then at Silverstone.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, can't wait to see you there. The number 23, I think, has some points to make up when you get back from France. Best of luck when you are in France. Stay safe, and hopefully you come back nice and safely.
Oh, thank you very much. See you guys.
And that is Chris Knox after a second-place effort here. So close when it came down to it, alongside Adam Shepard and Michael Seal. Let's go on down the line, though. We've got Craig Schill, it looks like, next up by finishing position. And he's headed your way, JP.
So, Craig, unfortunately, I guess fortunately, you won your class on the last race, finishing 11th place. How would you rate your day so far? I guess wasn't as good as Tuesday, but still pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy with the result. I must admit, race 2, I was having deja vu starting 3rd, and playing with the front runner. So I was like, hang on a minute, can I repeat Tuesday night here? But I was very slow through the bus stop, and I just couldn't defend against the faster cars. But yeah, good night overall. 2 wins and I think a 4th and a 3rd, I think.
No, absolutely. I mean, 2 wins is absolutely insane. As Andrew mentioned, I'm not pretty sure if the points are calculated, but you definitely caught up quite a bit on the amateur side of the championship. Obviously, with, I guess, you running on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you mentioned the difficulty of running the bus stop. How different do the cars feel, especially on a track like this, which is kind of, I guess, a simple layout?
So the TCR compared to the Mazda, I've got to say the Mazda's a little bit looser going through the bus stop. I can be very aggressive in the Honda on the brakes, which means I can brake a little bit later and it's more stable. The back end doesn't want to seem to come round on you because it's obviously front wheel drive. Whereas the Mazda, I was very aware of how much brake pressure I was putting in so that I didn't unsettle the car. But yeah, and it's obviously the TCR is a lot faster than the Mazda.
Yeah, and Andrew touched this on the previous interview with Chris Knox. We saw a few drivers struggling with the start, especially with the banking due to the front-wheel drive nature of the car. Did you find it tricky to launch on the outside part of the racetrack?
I find it tricky to launch on the inside as well. What I would my normal way of launching the car would be just let the clutch out slowly on it, and it was just pulling the front end to the inside of the circuit. So I was finding I was bogging down in the starts, and I was getting swamped, which is I didn't want to do because going into turn 1 with all these cars, they're asking for trouble really. Yeah, I was bogging down a lot. I was struggling with my starts.
And when we look towards next week, obviously we just came from 2 extremely fast race courses, Spa-Francorchamps and Daytona International Speedway. Switching to Knock Hill, it's a completely different monster. How do you prepare for that?
I love Knock Hill. I've been up there because obviously I'm in the UK, so I'm a track marshal as well. So I actually marshal touring cars at Knock Hill, and it's a great circuit. As for the sim, I haven't driven it since the Honda's been updated. Before the update, you couldn't touch a curb because the car would just bounce all over the place. So I should be doing a lot of practice for Knock Hill, and hopefully I can repeat what I've done so far.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be hoping for that as well, and hopefully we can talk to you then next week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But before I go and focus, who do you have to thank? Who do you have to shout out?
I'm going to shout out to the team again, because literally they're always behind me. I was really gutted for Mark, because at the one point in race 4 he was leading AMS and he was going for his first class win, and unfortunately the bus stop come up and got him. I'll thank my family, because they always support me, and anybody else that's watching the stream that I know. And obviously I'll thank you two for doing such a great broadcast. I love watching it back.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind comments. And with that being said, Craig, I'm gonna let you focus, let you enjoy your weekend, and hopefully we can talk to you next week.
Thank you very much.
Well, Andrew, that was Craig Schill. A great race for him, a great round for him, not only on Tuesday but also on Thursday. So he seems to like Daytona quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm glad he also mentioned that he was feeling a bit of deja vu, starting from third in race number 2. I saw it shaping up and was hoping it could have gone his way, but unfortunately couldn't quite get that second race win of the week. The next driver in line, and the final driver in line that we will talk to today, is Fiona Siddons. And Fiona, there were a couple of flashes in the pan, flashes of brilliance for you. You were up and mixing it around with them, I think in race number 3 especially. You were in the front. What was it like battling with all of these guys for so long today?
That was brilliant fun tonight. I really enjoyed it, and to get a podium over the 4 races, I'm happy.
And of course, those amateur points are going to go a long ways for you. I don't think points are 100% calculated, but they might be. I could be wrong. And you're looking pretty good out of it all. Let me get back over to it. Up into second, actually, ahead of Roger Morton by just 3 points. How do you game plan then for Knock Hill?
I'm looking forward to Knock Hill. I love Knock Hill, especially in the Hyundai. It drives roll around there.
And of course, Knock Hill completely different from Daytona. Have you gotten any laps? It sounds like you have gotten some laps yet. Do you have a game plan set? Do you know how chaotic it's going to be with these guys, or are you going in there kind of blind?
I think it's going to be one of them surprising tracks. I mean, we was expecting Brands Indy to be mayhem, and it wasn't too bad. I don't think Knock Hill will be too bad.
Fair enough. You know what? We thought the exact same thing. We thought Brands Indy was going to be pretty chaotic, and it was very, very good racing. So then the rest of the season, Snetterton, Silverstone, Brands Hatch again, but on the Grand Prix course, and of course Bathurst to finish things up. Do you think you get up there and go from second and make up 100 points on Craig Schill for the championship?
I'll do my best. It's going to be hard. Craig is fast.
Yeah, I thought he was going to go up there and get the win again today, but all right, well, it was a lot of fun watching you mix it up with those guys. I do actually have one question. How do you, I guess, manage the flip of the field so often, going from about that 15th spot so often, starting in the top 5, and managing all of that those first few laps?
The worst part of it for me is getting off the line. I struggle to get the car off the line, but in a race situation, I seem to got, especially around here, seem to have the knack to place the car in the right place to stop them passing.
There you go. Fiona Siddons, a really good day of racing again today. Made up a lot of points. Can't wait to see what you can do at Knock Hill next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for the time, Fiona. Congratulations on some good finishes. And Fiona Siddons, another one of those drivers that I think is building on a lot of great things for next week at Knock Hill Racing Circuit. I'm very much looking forward to it. Very, very much looking forward to Knock Hill. For some reason, ever since that Top Gear episode there so long ago, I've just had this interest in Knock Hill, and Linden Hill is certainly on that list too by association. I'm really looking forward to next week's races, even more so than this week.
Oh, absolutely. So am I. I guess that has, the recipe to be one of the greatest races we've seen, one of the greatest rounds we've seen for the British sim races as well. So cannot wait. Counting the days to Tuesdays, and well, it's just gonna be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, these are your upcoming broadcasts here on Pit Stop TV. We've got a lot of them, and this doesn't even tell the whole story for next week. We've got Monday night dirt racing action with the BRP iRacing series at 8 Eastern. That is at Fairbury Speedway in Illinois. Then, of course, Knock Hill on Tuesday with the British Sim Racers at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then, Tuesday, not only can you catch the Nork iRacing series, you can catch a special entry, and I mean, that should be hint enough. We'll see exactly how that race goes. We'll have a special entry in the Xfinity car field for the Daytona National 300 at the Daytona International Speedway. That is 300 miles, 120 laps. That's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, later on in the week, we just brought on Ferrari GT3 Challenge. So if any of you Brits are listening, by all means, please show up for Ferrari GT3 Challenge on Wednesday. It's the same time just about as these BSR races. That is 2:45 Eastern in the US or 7:45 UK time in GMT. So I think a pretty accessible time slot there that a lot of you Europeans can get into and join us here on Pit Stop TV. That should be a lot of fun. And then we, of course, have round 5 rather, for BSRTC at Knock Hill next week. It's going to be a treat next week. A lot of great racing.
Absolutely, and I mean, just great racing. I guess I don't have a lot to add to that, Andrew, but obviously to watch everything, to follow us, to keep yourself updated, you should follow us on each and every single social media: facebook.com/pitstoptv, on Twitter at twitter.com/pitstoptv_, on Instagram.com/pit_stop_TV, and on youtube.com/pitstoptv1 for great, live coverages, interviews, I guess social media contact, videos, recaps, everything you can think of. You're going to find us there.
Very much looking forward to next week with broadcasting. It's going to be tons of fun. Tons and tons of fun. If you are going off and running this weekend's iRacing Daytona 24, best of luck to you, truly. Hopefully I see you out there on the racetrack. We'll get a few hours Friday night. Hey, maybe if winter weather moves into the North Carolina area, maybe I want a few more hours on Saturday. We'll see, but excuse me. Best of luck to everyone who goes and runs the iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona. And if any of you guys are traveling down to Florida for the 24 Hours of Daytona later on in the month, stay safe. And by all means, send us some pictures from Daytona. We can't wait to see it. It's been a treat once again with you, JP. It's been a lot of fun this evening, and can't wait to do it again on Tuesday. For all of us here at Pit Stop TV, myself, Andrew Cardinale IV, and JP Costa on the mic this evening, and all of our other guys that make so much happen behind the scenes, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Make sure to be right back here on Monday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the BRP iRacing series. We'll see you then.